All right, everyone. Last we saw our heroes of Hyrule. They had successfully re-attempted to approach Vah Meadow with a team of Rita warriors more determined than ever now that love was completely sucked out of their culture. 11th Hour boarded the back of the Divine Beast and found an unusual structure that Lydian the Bard was quick to discover was composed of instrumentation throughout. Working together to discover the 5 secret musical instruments, our heroes had a jam session that activated the elevator to the dungeon below. Their next challenge was a hallway that smelled like an apothecary with 8 alcoves bearing distinct scents. Isolating the candle within each, our heroes were able to pinpoint the smells to a particular time of year. Aquila unfortunately picked to extinguish a candle with the aroma of wood smoke, and smoke filled her vision until cured by Natara. With the correct order sorted right after that, 11th Hour entered the next room, where a hasted Lorhanon's already impressive speed reached another level as he delivered an orb from one wingtip to the other, 240 feet across, in 6 seconds flat, approximately 27 miles per hour for those trying to calculate at home. On to the next chamber, a slide puzzle was the next obstacle, and in a feat of teamwork unlike any other, this too was conquered in no time to reveal the image of a spiraling Sheikah rune riddle. Side note, I have this written in here. I think I mentioned this last time, but I, for no good reason, custom made the image you guys saw. It actually translated to the riddle and was solvable if you couldn't unscramble the slide puzzle. I also color code matched the colors of it to other glowy Sheikah imagery. Anyway, back to the recap. Experts in the challenges within the Divine Beasts, the riddle's answer of an echo was achieved without second thought, and with the 4th terminal registered, it was time to face the next Blake Ganon. When Windblake Ganon emerged, the winds picked up and changed, making maneuvering the terrain difficult for everyone, both on the ground and in the air. And with Windblake's teleportation, it certainly wasn't easy to keep up. Nonetheless, 11th Hour was smart and landed hit after hit. Even when their foe produced drones, they were quickly struck down. It was Inari's sure-footedness that allowed her to catch up to Windblade downstream and deal an unprecedented amount of damage to this creature of hatred. With that, the Blight Ganon was dealt with, and the last of the Divine Beast was freed from Ganon's control. Even Rivali himself thanked our heroes for their service, offering his own unique ability to their arsenal. With that, 11th Hour returned to Rito Village. Lydian split off to update his village, currently sheltering from a potential blood moon in a cave in the west across Lake Totori. Pride from his mother and Rito warrior Captain Kree was more present than ever in her own way, which prompted her to reward Lydian with not just any Great Eagle Bow, already a status symbol for the Rito people, but the Great Eagle Bow that belonged to Rivali. Despite his abrasion to his mother's olive branch, it was when Lydian turned to leave when Kree told him she loved him, which began to soften his attitude towards her. Following the intense battle, thousands of feet in the air, 11th Hour rested in Rito Village, under the shadow of Vah Meadow, now perched atop the spire with a red laser joining the other 4 pointed at Hyrule Castle. Lydian used this time to scry on Daruli again, which exposed the Hylian man's abilities, talking to an invisible creature and phasing out of view himself at one point. Things took a turn unlike any scry before when Daruli became aware of Lydian. After barely conversing with him, Daruli ended the scry somehow. As our heroes unpacked this, Aquila and Lorhanon both kind of remembered a Hylian and Zora's domain in the very short amount of time they spent there. Up next, 11th Hour did the most 11th Hour thing ever and went to speak with Kotera again. As expected, she was of little help, but showed interest in the location of a portal between planes. Our heroes withheld this information from her, sensing malicious intentions, but now Kotera is contributing to the war by blocking healing, and also has asked that her companion locate Phasia while he's in the Sacred Realm. Parting ways, Kotera reserved a special thanks for Lydian for an inexplicable reason, and that is where we find our heroes now. 11th Hour, you've exited the grotto of the Great Fairy of Truth and Secrets and find yourselves in the unnamed woods above Kakariko Village. It's a new day, and other than the overcast sky, it's quite nice out.
Hold on. Time out. Blocking healing?
That was not.
Hey.
It's not confirmed, but it was sort of heavily implied.
Well, God said it in the recap, so it's real now.
That was the vibe that you guys got.
All right. Well,
Yes, casual Kakariko vibes.
Sorry, I guess. Hold on.
Locked for
Don't
Lord
casual Kakariko vibes me. Hold on. Fine.
Our-
Play the war music.
Can't heal ourselves. if anything happens. I guess we can't
We
die
can't
either.
so
no,
it's not that big a deal, right?
of course not.
Yeah.
Surely.
I mean, we have no idea how any of this works in the Sacred Realm anyway, so.
Yes, it's true.
Alright, so we looking for Jorak?
Yeah, I think we need to.
Yeah, I think that, we know that Jorak talked to an invisible person, right? And Daruli also talked to an invisible person. And he seems to know how to get into the Sacred Realm. So that's our next best lead, I think.
Yeah.
I think so.
Certainly don't want to talk to Ozzy about it.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes. Very.
How are
we're
you
just-
guys going about looking for Jorak then?
I feel like we just kind of poke around the woods, and if he's nowhere around, then we go to the inn. He's usually there, right?
Yep. You guys begin to sort of look around the woods here, and I mean, in no time, you find Jorak. This time he is probably, what would he be doing? He's been gathering sticks and trying to see how many sticks it takes to hold him to support his weight on a branch. And so far, it has been 6 sticks is not successful. But he's going up one by one to see at what point. And
Stick Nation, bro.
you guys kind of run into him as he's like scouring the ground for sticks, and he's like, "Yo! Oh, did you guys come to help me look for more sticks?"
He's gonna hurt himself, and it's gonna be permanent now.
Natara, do you want to take this one, or should I?
I mean, I wasn't there the first time, so
What do you mean the first
I-
time?
when you talked to Jorak, who was talking to his Korok friend.
Okay. I'll ask. I'll say, hi, Jorak. I hope you're well. It seems like
Always,
you're getting
man.
along just fine.
Oh yeah. How many
we were
sticks do you
wondering-
think can support your weight?
I ignore him and turn to the rest of the group, and I'll say, what are we asking for again? Like, if we need for his help, or does he need to point us in the right direction or something, or?
You guys lost? I know these woods
Can you
pretty
just-
well.
Can you just ask if he can find his invisible friend and talk to him?
Jorak, do you mind finding your invisible friend? What was his name? George, I think.
Invisible friend? Are you talking about Jorak
Wasn't-
Jr.?
Oh no, I'm not talking about Jorak Jr. I'm talking about your other friend.
It was not invisible to him, I guess.
He's not. Yeah, he's not invisible to you. I don't. I forget if. Can I remember if Jorak has described his friend to me, so I could describe it back to him?
I think you'd remember that he didn't really describe the friend. He just kind of like had a conversation with an invisible person after putting a ball in a tree stump.
Jorak, have you had a conversation with a mystical creature that's not a Hylian or Jorak Jr.?
I mean, yeah, sometimes. The Koroks that live throughout the Kakariko village area.
Yes. Can we go find some of those?
Yeah, I mean, you looking for one in particular?
No, I don't think so.
Do you just have questions?
Yes, we do have questions, and we also have somebody who might also be able to talk to them.
Really? You have another Satori
Maybe.
druid?
It's unconfirmed. No, it's not a Satori druid, but it's just
Oh.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, we can go find Gary again if you want.
Gary.
Very.
Okay, lead the way, my friend.
yeah, he takes you guys over to like the more elevated part of his woods in like the south of this higher cliffside area. Um, he picks up the heavy ball and places it back in the um back in the tree stump, and he's like, "Yo, hey Gary, what's up, my guy? So sorry to bother you again. My buds over here have some questions for you for some reason. I don't know. That's not very nice. We'll see what they have to ask first, okay? What do you guys want to know? I guess from Gary here.
I guess, can I see Gary?
Give me an. What did I have? I think it's. Give me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, I'm so bad at intelligence.
Flash of genius.
It's an 18.
18. You kind of like try and focus in on the area that Jorak's looking, and you begin to hear like a faint like trace of words coming through, and you hear like um it's a little jarring at first, and your brain has to kind of like almost like not translate, but like it's like that kind of delay of translating what somebody's saying before you think about it in your language. And you hear a voice go, "All right, what do they want to know?"
They're from Brooklyn?
um I I guess I would just kind of, I guess Lydian can talk about what he saw with Hyrule.
Mhm.
But then I just like, I guess we're trying to find Hyrule, or just know if they know how to move between planes. I suppose. But
Yeah, I think that's good.
I don't know, I feel like I'd just be like, we're trying to find a way to, what's the other plane called? I don't even remember.
The Sacred Realm.
Sacred Realm. Thanks, Lydian. um, like, I have been able to like move in between for short periods of time. But we know that there are people who can for longer and more at will. And we are trying to find one of them or know how that works if Gary happens to know.
Gary, you can hear like Gary like coming through in that kind of way that I described. He says to Jorak, he probably is talking to you guys like more directly, even though Jorak is there to translate. Because the rest of you can't. I mean, none of you can see him, and only one of you can hear him. And he goes, "Ah, of course they think all Koroks just know this stuff innately. You should go talk to Rala. She's at the front gate. If the Ruli guy was here, she'd know." And Jorak's like, easy there. But yeah, that's a good idea. If you guys want, we could go see if maybe a Korok that's like by the entrance might have known a bit more about this guy. Um, and it seems like Gary doesn't really seem to know too much about the other stuff.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's head to the front gate. And thank you for your time, Gary. As we kind of leave this scene, can I whisper over to Jorak and just say, why do you hang out with him? He seems like really nasty. Like, I feel like all the Koroks are probably nice. He seems like particularly spiteful.
He's in my woods.
That's real.
All right.
He's a homeboy.
You gotta protect the bros.
I guess.
Stand
Um,
by. Ride or die, Jorak. Ride or die.
as you guys are leaving, Matara, you hear Gary say, "Leave me alone," like as you guys are walking away. Um, and you guys begin to make your way down back to the village and through it to the main gate. As you're walking through, um, did you had mentioned the name Daruli, right?
Yes, she had.
Jorak's like, you know, that's I'm sorry, Jen, I just saw your message. I didn't see it before.
Don't worry about it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's the
Okay.
dumbest thing ever.
You should have just said something. But anyway, you guys, as you guys are walking through, Jorak's like, you know, it's so funny. I don't know if it's like a common name or something, but I knew someone named Daruli.
Oh, get out.
Yeah.
What did he look like?
What did he look like?
What did he look like?
I don't know. He had like curly, kind of longish hair, like a autumn kind of color.
Was he
And-
wearing like really fanciful, almost regal clothes?
No, he was wearing Satori druid stuff. Like leaves and stuff fashioned into clothing. Korok
Oh.
fronds and such.
I get the feeling. Is he still with the Satori druids? Do you know?
Let me see.
I have a feeling he got kicked out.
We have to go to Satori Mountain after all.
I think
Oh,
we
man.
do. I think we do eventually, but I think because remember in the scry he was like, "Let's avoid Satori Mountain. I don't want to deal with that." So I think he might have got kicked out of the druid clan.
Not allowed to sit with them at lunch
Mm.
anymore.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he says, well, like, Guruli and I had like some overlap during our time like studying to be a druid at Satori. But he was not super into it at all. I mean, it seemed to me like he had to take more lessons than everyone else about other topics that no one else was learning about.
What
And-
kind of topic do you know?
Do I know? No.
Architecture, artistry, something like
Do
that.
I know? No
Yeah,
way, man.
Listen, nothing cleanses the palate after talking to Kotera like fuck.
It's true. It's true.
They are true foils of each other.
It's just a
Um,
big reset button. The most honest, dumb man ever.
Okay, great.
Well, like, so, like, he was, he's council member Maru's son. And I don't think it had to do with, like, being his son that he had to take other classes. Because I don't think his daughter takes, like, additional classes. But I don't really know. He just, like, had other responsibilities besides, like, druidic stuff. And I don't really know what it was. But he always looked miserable to me. I felt bad for him. Eventually, he did just kind of, like, disappear without a trace.
Okay, yeah, this is the same guy. Who was Maru's daughter?
Is she the one who was watching us?
Yeah, we met them.
Yes.
Like when you ran up to Satori
yep, yep.
Mountain.
Cool. I love.
It's funny
puzzle
that you
pieces.
like said like the thing about like architecture, like that's like buildings, right?
For sure, you got it.
Yeah, man.
Well, so he always used to talk about like building houses on the mountainside
Okay.
of Satori Mountain.
Yeah. No further confirmation
And-
needed. This is the same.
Well,
Oh,
he-
we'll
like,
get more
actual-
information. Let him keep talking.
Yes.
I mean,
Go
it's
ahead.
fine. We don't have to. Anyway, we can go find Rala now if you don't really want to know anything else.
I mainly
No,
just want to
please
know
tell
where.
me everything you know.
Okay.
That could take 5 minutes.
No,
Everything. So when you start druidic training, you automatically get a
Everything you know.
bloopy companion even before you know what circle you're gonna be in. It's just how it's always
Yeah,
been.
it's just like, yeah, this secret society. I'm gonna tell you everything I know.
good if we have to go back to Satori Mountain.
We're like pretty much Satori druids at this point. Jorak, we've talked to you so many times. We're like pretty much like part of the clan. So,
We are.
Are
Yeah.
you? Were you initiated?
well, I mean, like we've talked to you so many times. We might as well have been initiated.
I don't think that's how it works.
Oh yeah, they changed it. That's how that works.
Did they really?
Don't lie to Jorak.
You're
It's
not
like
being
lying
mean
to a
to
puppy.
Jorak.
You know what? You're right. I'm sorry. That was rude of me. Let's just go talk to Rala at the front gate.
Yeah, so you guys skip through the rest of the stuff Jorak was gonna say.
Skipping
Mashing
the
the-
owls. It's skipping the owls dialogue in Ocarina of Time.
So he's leading you guys there, and as you're getting close, and like kind of exiting the village almost, he's like, I don't know why I never thought to ask the Koroks about Hyrule. Just kind of like no one can find him, so figured no one could find him. But
Yeah, well,
he leads you
we want
guys
to.
to just outside the entrance to Kakariko, and he says, so like one of you guys with the bow and arrow, could you shoot that eye right there? He points to one of the squared arches that line the entrance through the valley to enter Kakariko Village that has a Sheikah Eye metal plate. It's like adorned with like ribbons and things, just kind of centered on the top of the arch.
I'll shoot an arrow.
You go to draw your weapon. The two guards that are standing on either side of the arch kind of like reach for their blades as you pull it out.
I pull out my
Sorry,
service
sirs.
weapon.
Sorry, sirs. I'm just practicing archery. Don't mean to alarm you.
We'll do it somewhere else, one says.
My favorite tree. I don't know.
You just gonna shoot anyway?
Yeah, I'll shoot it anyway.
We're gonna get arrested.
We could go
matter, we're level, like-
600 feet away.
We're level like 1 billion. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. Is you're gonna get arrested and you're gonna turn and cast one spell and kill the entire town.
Come on. You have to have more faith in me.
Are you saying anything to the guards before you do it?
No, I just said, like, I'm just practicing archery. Sorry, it'll just be one quick shot. And then I just fire an arrow.
Give me a... I'm gonna say persuasion check, but with disadvantage.
No problem. No problem.
It doesn't, yeah, it doesn't really
Literally
matter.
does not matter.
I know, but
Persuasion at disadvantage.
The raw charisma
That's a 25.
is that the lowest you can get on
You can't
any...
get lower than
Yes,
Oh.
because the 3 is now a 10, so it's 25.
Wow. They kind of look at you guys and they know who you are. They just kind of like awkwardly like put their hand away from their weapon and stand still and hope that you're not going to fire at them because they know who you are, but they are watching you regardless. You fire an arrow. Give me an attack roll.
Oh my god.
22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whew.
You fire it right in the center of the eye on the plate, and as you do, Jorak goes, "Yo, Rala, what is up? These folks have some questions for you about people coming in and out of Kakariko. Have you seen someone named Hyrule who... I guess he's got like sort of curly, reddish hair. Might look like kind of like what I'm wearing. He's kind of tall. I don't really remember much else about him. Do you guys have any other details?
Say he might wear some more royal-looking attire instead.
Why would you be wearing that?
Because we met him a while ago, and he was wearing that. So
You met
we're trying
him?
to find. Yeah, well, kind of.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he looks like he's royalty now.
Well,
That's what he looks like. So have you seen
Whatever, close
somebody like that. Natara, if you would like to try and listen or see, you can give me another intelligence saving throw.
Cool.
I'll give you Bardic if you want.
Nice. Yeah, I will use that. It's a what now?
The 12.
12. Another 18.
You hear again like a whispering voice. It sounds different than the one you heard before, and it takes you a second to like process what you're hearing. You still don't see anybody, but focusing in on the general area, Jorex looking above you guys, you hear a voice in the wind kind of go, you know, Jorak, not all Koroks know everybody. Like, you know, just anybody that pertains to the sacred realm and things. We don't just know everybody. But yeah, I do know I have seen somebody that has been in here that has that description. And Jorak's like, oh, sweet, okay, good. And my apologies. I am sorry.
We're
And
being extremely racist.
the rest of you, besides Natara, that didn't have the context, have no idea what Jorak is apologizing for. And he goes, all right, so like, how long ago was he here? I guess. And Natara, you can hear, well, it's probably a few years ago. He was here for a while. I think he was.
We're cooked.
No, I think he was.
No, we're not.
I think he was. Where is it? He was. Oh, there it is. He was here a few years ago and drawing all the buildings. And Jorah goes, "Oh, cool. Was he any good at it?" And Natara, you hear, not really, but he showed signs of improvement. I think. Bovu was helping him a bit more, with some stuff, and Jorah's like, "Oh, great. We could just go talk to Bovu then." Thanks for the
Bovu.
confirmation.
all right.
Was here.
Let's not do that.
I've had enough of this who's on first bit.
Okay.
All right,
We know
guys, we want to
he's
go
not-
talk to Bovu now.
We
We
know
know
where
that he
Darul is
was-
going to be.
We know that he was by the Bridge of Haya and he was talking to one of these creatures on the Great Plateau, right?
Correct.
Like, I guess we could bring Jorak with us to the Great Plateau.
Do we need
Or
to? We
just-
know he said in the in the scry, he said he was going to the garrison ruins. We could just wait there.
Do we know where those are?
I think so.
What do you?
Jenna,
where-
on the map, do I know where the garrison ruins are?
Probably not. You guys haven't really done much in Central Hyrule. I mean, let me see. Let me look at the map here.
Lome. She might know.
Yeah, tough to. Ooh, let me move that. Tough to say. I mean, go ahead and give me a history check.
– 19.
I mean, though you haven't really been there yourself, Lydian, you know that when you originally set out, Lo was with you and obsessed with trying to look at ruins. And you recall that at one point during your trip to the Great Plateau, she talked your ear off about all of the different sort of civilization areas in Central Hyrule that she had read about,
Mhm.
and that the garrison is, probably would have said it's just a few hours journey north of Lake Colomo.
Okay. Lake Colomo is where?
in Central Hyrule. And
Is
I
that
think
all I know?
the context being, well, there was the Colombo garrison ruins, but the actual Hyrule garrison ruins were, she would have been like, they were actually a bit north. They weren't too far away. A bit north of Lake Colombo.
Okay, where's Lake Colomo on the map? Is it the one right northwest of the or northeast of the Great Plateau?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll head to somewhere around this area.
Into Central Hyrule, go.
I can always ping her too. I can always call her and like get verification. But I
She
feel like
said
we have
she
a pretty
won't
good.
respond to you in case the blood moon happens.
I don't think she said that.
Oh, did she say that?
Or she was like gonna wait.
To use the sending stone?
Yeah.
It would be her call to us in case there was a problem with the blood moon.
Okay. In that case, we can. Let's get going. I don't think we need Jorak, honestly. How do we do this? How do we?
Where are we going next, guys? You want me to take you to Bovu? He actually lives in the Lantern Lake underneath Impa's house.
Oh yeah. So the guards were really happy with you shooting. Now they're gonna want to let us frogmen their way down to the bottom of their leader's house.
Jorak, you know, this is I think we got a lot of information from some of your friends. I think it would be awesome if you could just stick behind, be our patrolman for the city. You know, if we ever need anything, we'll come right back to you. But I think we can take it from here.
I know
Thanks
how to
for-
get rid of him. Jenna, can I do my calculation?
Yes. Go ahead and how are you doing it? What are you?
I'm trying to do like mental math, basically.
Yeah, I think you're probably like. Yeah, give me an intelligence check.
20.
You saw like the average like size and diameter of the sticks he was picking up, and you kind of clocked that. And judging by his frame, you can kind of estimate his weight. And putting that together, you've been kind of following everybody and silently doing calculations to give like the most accurate number that you can, and you came to the conclusion that 16.75 sticks will probably support Jorak. So do with that what you will.
Durek, he needs 17 sticks, and that should hold your weight.
Guys, I'll be right back. And he leaves.
Alright. I start
thanks,
casting
Akila.
teleportation circle.
Yeah, I'll start teleporting to. I think. Do we want to go to this stable, or the tower? I think we probably go to
Which
the.
tower? We don't have the Central Hyrule Tower. We have the plateau.
Yeah,
I think we go to this thing.
that stable.
Hang
Okay.
on. Let me see where you're pinging. I'm on a different map. Where are you pinging?
It's the this one that's east of the plateau, this one that's just north of the plateau, or the Central Hyrule Tower if we have it.
You do not have a teleportation location for Riverside.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. So we have
we have it.
Riverside is the other
Is
one.
this-
Sorry, and we,
This one is Riverside.
yeah. Okay,
This is Outskirt. You do have Outskirt.
let's head to Outskirt then. I'm pretty sure I thought I flew to
Can we
the
just do it?
Central Hyrule Tower and then got the teleportation point at some point. Did I not?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Out of fear of like
Can we just-
the guardians that are there.
Yeah.
Can we just go to the plateau tower? I'd rather not deal with whatever horrors of Hylian life today await us.
I agree, Lorhannon. Let's just head to the Great Plateau Tower.
I mean, that
Isn't
seems a little
Hyrule-
selfish, doesn't it?
Isn't Hyrule such a mystical place?
I mean,
Starting
if you want to go and have that
Not be
fun
able to help.
conversation,
Well, do we know that we can't help them yet?
Kotera implied it pretty heavily.
Or one,
And as
we're all
well-
fully healed, right? Yeah.
Yes. No, I'm missing 1 hit point. Fuck.
Great,
I'm
great.
ruined.
No. We need to. Inari, can you spend 1 of your hit point pool to try and heal him?
Well, I get no, yeah, Anari will lay on hands for 1
Okay.
HP.
Thanks. Thanks, Inari.
Does it?
No
does it
problem.
work?
Lydian, you cannot add that hit point.
Oh my
Cool.
god.
Inari, your pool is depleted by 1.
Oh, that's so slay.
We've gotta
Well-
find a way to put them in jars. We've gotta put them in pouches and in jars.
Jenna, without further ado, let's get to that tower.
All right, you guys teleport out of Kakariko to the Great Plateau.
Okay.
Plateau
All right.
Tower.
We are going to the most dangerous area in the game, and we cannot heal and also permanently suffer forever.
Yep.
Well, okay. Let's just for a moment. No, I don't. Let's not think about it for a moment. Let's dive in first. That's what Lord Hannon would do.
Great.
So
Okay.
true.
Can't we just like pass without trace and then just stake out and wait for him to show up?
Do you really want to bet that on me and Anari's disadvantaged stealth checks?
Should we really be betting on that?
I mean, the other
Doesn't he have
option is
invisibility?
For an hour.
Otherwise, we just like what roll up and like hope. Like we still have to. Like if we're not stealthing, right? We're still just being kind of obvious, right?
I mean, I am more for it not going here at all. But if we have to go, then yes, I would say we should stealth.
Jenna, do we
If
have a
Theo wants
good?
to not go to Central Hyrule, what do you propose then?
And
Okay.
just try our luck there.
Well, first things first. Here, let's. Now that it is a new day, I think it's a new day. I'm gonna use the crystal ball and scry on Daruli, just to see where he is. How close he is, I guess.
Sure. Lydian, I think you would have been able to, even if it was the same day, because I think you can just keep scrying until you fail to scry.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
the crystal ball means you can just scry, period.
Correct.
So, Lydian, you focus in on the crystal ball and see Daruli is crouched and closely examining a stone wall. It's clearly been exposed to the elements for some time, but part of a larger structure. He moves very carefully, not disturbing a stone. He stops to eye something, pulling out a glass for magnification. He softly exclaims, "There is evidence of a cove base. Between that and the elevated foundation in this particular ruin, I cannot help but wonder what purpose this building served." He turns his head over his shoulder, but not to look at your sensor. It seems he isn't aware of your arcane presence. "See, right there," he says, turning back and pointing. "The bottom of these walls contains divots, spaced evenly along like so." He begins to stand and brush himself off, then responds to an invisible individual. "Well, it would mean the inhabitants were able to clean the floors with ease, as dust and debris could not become trapped where the wall met the floor. Perhaps they needed to clean it frequently? Why is exactly the question. There is more to investigate, and while I could continue in perpetuity, my moral needs must be met as well. Care to accompany as I find a midday meal?" Daruli then lets out a chuckle and walks out of the ruin. He pauses to scan the area before returning to the open, but then crosses a meadow, heading for a patch of trees. He is clearly in central Hyrule. As he reaches his destination, he finds a tall yellow flower. Reaching down to gather some firewood, the flower disappears, reappearing a few feet away. Daruli wastes no time setting up a small campfire in the location of the second flower, which disappears and reappears nearby once again. He proceeds to light the firewood with his bare hand and rises to follow the yellow flower around some more, gathering up Hylian herbs, a Hylian shroom, and even a hardy radish, as he parades around the glade behind the unusual flower. Finally, it reappears, this time white, right next to the fire. Daruli fires up a hearty fried green dish and begins to chat aloud once again. "I sincerely appreciate your hospitality. My name is Daruli. Pleasure to make your acquaintance." Daruli is about to take a bite of his meal, pauses. He immediately stands up in a panic. "What? Where? Where is it? Turning around in a circle, and when he faces your point of vision again, his eyes glow with the same shimmery effect as before. As he sees you, he says, "You again? I very politely asked that you refrain from scrying on me any further. What is the meaning of this? Why do you find me so compelling? I did nothing to you. It was you who ruined my apprenticeship." He begins to lose his cool demeanor. Cursing in Zora again, he mutters something to himself. Make an insight check.
Apprenticeship did we ruin?
Apprenticeship is right. I don't know. It's a dirty 20.
He is saying different words than last time. You also recognize the thought to end the scry in the same manner as last time crossed his mind, but he isn't doing so. He might not be able to do so at this time. Bruley turns now to face someone behind him. "I apologize for this invasion of privacy after you so graciously welcomed me to your home." Now turning back to you. "I demand you find a way to answer me somehow."
Um,
Tell us where you are.
I'll pull out a piece of paper and can I write? Can he see me again? Like, is
You
it
can-
that sort of?
It seems like he can see
I'll
you.
pull out
He
a piece of paper and
recognized you.
I'll say, let's meet up to talk. We come in peace. Where can we find you?
"Well, clearly you can see where I am. It's the whole purpose, I imagine. Suppose you're coming to find me anyway, and I have no means to end this conversation on my own accord. I just, you have to understand, I do not know if I can trust you."
Um, uh, I don't really have anything else to say. I'll ask everybody else around me. Like, he says, I don't know if I should trust you. Should I try to give him some sort of a sign of trust or just end the scry?
I'll try. But thinking
Um,
what we could use.
Can we say something of like
I don't want to mention the druids because he's
Can we-
got a negative relationship with the druids.
I don't know if at this point he would to restart his apprenticeship, but we could maybe try to help resolve whatever thing we ruined.
Let's just try to. I'll just say, like, we'll help fix things. Hope that's okay. Believe in Hylia and in us.
In central Hyrule, south of one of the remaining golden towers. Most have turned cerulean by now, but not this one. I'm not sure if you are familiar with ruins, but adjacent to my location are the exchange ruins.
Is that all then?
I mean, are you going to end the scry? Or does he
You should end
does,
the scry.
does
Yeah,
not
no,
seem
I-
capable of ending it himself right now?
I'm gonna end the scry, like, manually, to show, like, we're on good terms. I don't want to invade his privacy on purpose.
You end the scry. You have his location now.
Any prep before we go?
Man.
What's the matter, Aquila?
No, Gil doesn't know anything that's wrong. We know what's at that tower, though.
Yeah.
He said he's south of the tower. He said he's south of the tower. So
And I didn't see any
Yeah,
guardians
I
in
also
the
know what's
scry,
south
so-
of the tower. There's like several patrol routes along there.
oh,
All track on.
so can we use the horn of calling to get any horses, or are horses off the table? With
I'm down with
I think
that.
wait. We're gonna stealth with horses.
No, we're gonna move fast with horses.
Okay.
That's assuming that horses don't immediately try to eat us.
I think.
Stomp us to death.
Well,
and eat
at the
us.
Rito stable, they had to
Oh,
let because they were going insane.
Oh, they did. You're right.
Maybe
Hey,
horses is not
the
the play.
guardians will be distracted by various flocks of birds.
And birds. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I feel like I'm taking the Guardians in that fight. I don't think it'll be a big fight.
Let's just get moving.
Let's
You
just
guys,
fly.
I mean, yeah, it is not far. You guys from the tower, especially if you're still atop the tower, um, you have the lay of the land. You can see across pretty much all of Hyrule Field and Central Hyrule. Um, and you can see the Central Hyrule Tower still glowing amber because you have not registered it to your Sheikah slate yet. And south of it, so you can see that there are ruins directly around it, some ruins very close, but uh, southeast of it, and then directly south, um, you can just see beyond like a little rock formation that there are some ruins, and more specifically, directly to the right of it, a little grouping of trees.
No enemies or anything?
Mm.
Give me a
It might
perception
be.
check.
I'll
Can
do it.
I tell?
Someone give him the spyglass. I give him the spyglass.
With advantage.
Thanks, Loranen. Cool.
Oh man. Oh man.
man.
Oh
Uh,
man.
Can I make a perception check?
Go
As
ahead.
without us, but oh wait, that was persuasion.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, we're set. We're set. We're good.
My passive perception is now H1.
Holy shit.
Perception check. So good.
A 29 on perception. I'd say, Hatara, not only are you able to clock with like eagle precision, where pretty much any guardian stalker could be in the southern portion of Central Hyrule, you watch and are able to pick up on their paths and patterns, um, and get a sense of you begin to like formulate like a route in your head of like we should go this way, wait, and then go this way, wait, and then go this way, and we'll be there. So yeah, with a 29, you not only see them, but you read into how they're moving and can um, see a path forward to avoid confrontation with them if you so choose to go about it that way.
I think that we would probably want to do that. Certainly faster if we avoid being seen.
Yeah.
You
They are my
guys,
enemy, so
you guys descend um, onto the path, and Tara leads you guys pretty expertly. At one point, she pulls you aside in some like unnamed ruins, um, and you all kind of like hunker down for a minute as a guardian passes not nearby as to like, you guys need to avoid making noise and stuff. It's more so you would have been in its line of sight, and because you're obscured, um, it doesn't see you and doesn't investigate further, and a moment passes and it's gone, so you're free to move, and you do so, and in probably around like an hour's time, you arrive at the exchange ruins and can see you probably see Daruli investigating the ruins um, as you come upon them.
Think
His
we
back
need-
is to you, and he has his notebook out, and he looks up nervously, kind of in most directions, unsure where his scryers will be coming from, but looks back down, focusing on his work.
As long as there's no guardians around that would sense any sort of noise, I would call out to him and say, "Hi, Daruli, it's us."
He jumps and clutches his notebook as he turns around, and he just kind of like freezes. It is you guys. I thought so. I recognize you from Zora's domain.
Um, oh,
That's not a good
oh,
reputation.
the apprenticeship, right? Um,
Still don't know
tell us.
what.
Can you tell us about that actually a little bit? I'm so sorry for any fallout that we might have caused.
Uh, I do believe introductions are in order first. My name is Daruli, and I am aspiring to be an architect.
Hi, I am Lydian. I am a bard, and I am not aspiring anymore. I am just a bard.
Okay.
Damn.
You're the one who I saw through the lens the other plane.
Allow my friends to introduce themselves.
I'm an Ari. I used to aspire to be a Gerudo guard, and then I was one, and now I'm not one anymore. So I'm just here.
Nice to meet you as well.
I'm Aquila Theros. Don't
It was
really
you
have
aspired
any
to be, and
clue.
what are you now?
I aspired to be sane, and I am now.
Debatable, but congratulations.
What?
This is the weirdest icebreaker ever.
We didn't have to copy him.
It's funny. It's a good bit. I'm Lorhanan. I aspired to murder and pillage, and now I defend people.
Now he defends people. More importantly, now he defends people.
It is mildly unsettling, but also good.
Oh man. We're so
And you,
well
miss.
adjusted.
Sorry. I'm crying. I'm Natara. I don't know if I want to just like go out there with I'm aspiring to I guess I'll just I'm aspiring to understand more about my Kokiri nature.
His face drops.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, well, my intent behind revealing my aspirations was more so to explain perhaps what you may have seen in the journal of mine that you currently possess. But I appreciate the insights into all of your lives as well.
Should give
We're
that back.
trying.
I presume you've not only sought me out for returning my journal, but perhaps for your sake, Natara, with what you've just mentioned. Is that correct?
Yes. I don't know how much you know, but the Great Fairies are currently war amongst each other, and we are trying to figure out a way to stop, prevent it from getting worse.
I'm generally aware of their feud. I mean, it's evident in many ways. And yes, I would describe myself as being knowledgeable about the subject. Unfortunately, for better or worse, I am very well learned on the topic of Kokiri. I myself am Kokiri, unfortunately.
Why are you so downtrodden about it?
There are people that I am no longer in contact with that knew my nature and sought to exploit it. And it is a blessing and a curse, we'll say.
Right. Do you, if you would like to help us out, I do have your journal. If you would like to cooperate with us, I seriously don't mean you any harm.
You're not simply going to return it to me. It belongs to me.
Give him the journal.
No, I mean I'm handing it to him.
Oh, okay. You're giving it to him.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying like, if you help us, I'll give you your journal back.
No. I was just saying, like, I'll return this. I hope that you would return the favor and give us a favor as well.
Thank you. I have to imagine you went through great lengths to acquire this. Given that none of you are currently masked and trying to kill me.
Yes, actually, we go ahead,
Killed
Minotaur.
about almost all of the Yiga clan and found this in our Adam.
That scares guys shitless because we just said we murdered the entire Yuga clan.
I'm sorry. Perhaps I'm misunderstanding. The sort of secret organization of, I don't know, evil spies.
Mhm.
You say you've slain most
Have you
of them.
have you seen any in the past month?
You slain quite a few of them.
Do you want one of our masks? They're going to be collector's items soon.
Yeah, they're limited edition.
No, thank you. I think it would be rather suspicious of me to be found with a mask. But if you guys also have masks, I am now suspicious. But this is very confusing for me. I'm
What we mainly need to talk to you about is we may have a series of steps to stop the fairies from sparring in the other realm. But our main difficulty right now is getting there in the first place and staying there for an extended period of time. I know that you are able to shift over somehow. You've, I assume, done so to avoid my scries.
yes,
And
I did for the first one, and unfortunately already used the ability today to avoid an encounter with a guardian stalker.
do you know anything about existing portals on the terrestrial plane here on the material plane that are neutral and not attached to a great fairy?
I mean, yes, they exist, of course. What
Um,
further
if
information are you looking for? I
if you
do not know the specific location of any.
Mhm.
We know where one is.
Do you?
I think.
If we took you there, would you know how to open it?
He looks back to the ruins where he is. Well, where is it?
It's an Akala. I mean, we could tell him, we could take him, we can get him back to the ruins in about an hour because we.
Yeah, he just needs to not blab though.
Color. I mean, that is a far journey, though. I suppose while there, I might be able to get a closer look at the Citadel.
Ooh, have you heard about the Citadel?
No, what has happened at the Citadel?
I think like a few weeks ago, a laser beam hit it and it exploded.
It's fully gone.
It's now doubly ruined. So
Yeah, it's like super ruins. Actually, you might be really interested.
No, that's incredibly awful. I'd much rather
sorry.
observe the existing structure. I mean, here all I can gather are just the remains of what these were, and piece it together. And hopefully, should everything be fine in my lifetime, rebuild them. But does not seem likely now, especially with the state of the fairies. We probably don't have much time remaining, if
Mhm.
we're being
Oh,
honest.
we can't die.
What's that?
so I mean, it's not a far journey to get to Akala, really.
We can get there within a minute.
Yeah, we can get there in 1 minute.
I just have things I mean to do here first. I intend to end up in the Sacred Realm for an indefinite amount of time, but I'm not quite ready to be there yet.
How much longer would you need here?
Several years. I mean, I guess I no longer need to redraft the exchange and the garrison now that I have my old journal back, but all of this was intending to get me to eventually Town, and perhaps even no, I mean, it would be impossible, but Castletown perhaps someday.
Ooh. Deruli, there's a very important assignment that you can do in that area when we're around Akala. If you can get us over to the Sacred Realm, right by, they are building a new town. It's called Hateno 2.
We don't
And
know
it's
that.
Don't know that.
well, we know it's north, right? It's we know it. I think we know that it's Hateno 2 and it's in Akala. I don't think we know anything else about that.
I think
It's not
Me-
ruins. It's not ruins. This is the
But
whole
it's-
point.
it's-
Is he wants ruins.
But like he could frame buildings and like he can, if his whole thing is like making buildings as if they were, then he can build up, like take a structure and then like dream up the architecture of the buildings around it.
I can't believe you went with Pateno 2 instead of setting him up with your sister.
Why would I
That's-
do that?
Not that they would actually fall in love or anything. 'cause
Yeah, but yeah, that's literally impossible.
They would just be colleagues, really.
Jenna, do I know enough information about Terrytown to point him towards Hateno 2?
I thought you guys had Hateno 2 set up to be at Hateno Beach.
Yeah.
I actually don't know, and I don't think it ever
I
like
wasn't
it never got confirmed that Hateno 2 was happening.
Yeah, it was just a bit that we were doing over and over again.
Yeah,
We
but I
just
think
told
you guys
Wilson
ended
it'd
up
be
kind
cool.
of persuading them to do it, and you cleared the beach of monsters so that they had access to build Hateno 2.
I thought
Down
that
at
they
the
were
bay.
planning on doing it, like that was the code name essentially for Terrytown.
That's how we started the bit. We talked to Bolson to make a Hateno 2 in the north.
Right. Okay. Well then,
Regardless, it's
It's a
not going
moot
to
point.
interest him.
no, it's a moot point. All right. Well, it'll be really quick. We actually can teleport right there.
You have a Kokiri. Why would you need me? I can clue
Um,
you into what I know.
Okay.
That
What do you
works
We
know?
don't know
too.
how to open the portal. That's all.
Yeah. Essentially.
If you can tell me how it works, you don't have
The
to.
Tara the Kokiri is capable of opening the port. Though, judging by the amount of armor and interesting weapons that you all brandish, I wonder that, perhaps, in exchange for the information you seek to reach the Sacred Realm, perhaps would you, at some point, once you complete your task with the Great Fairies, be willing to escort me through Castletown?
I mean, we don't really have
We
a
will be going there at some point.
we
I
do have-
suppose.
Yeah.
There at no point is it going to be safe to do architectural analysis in Castletown. It is going to be a war zone from the second we step into it to the second we leave it.
Do you say that to him, or are you just telling us?
No, go ahead.
Well, like I feel like I would say the same thing, but I would be like, yes, we could try, but it will be a war zone. It's not going to be safe at all.
I at least just want to see it.
Fine.
Perhaps not spend hours and hours sketching what is left there, but I would like to see with my own eyes what is there.
Seems
Sure.
like
You got it.
a
Seems like what to you?
fair deal to me.
Sure. We will take you through Castletown, and we'll see it. Promise.
Castletown ghost tours.
Let's get going. We don't have a whole lot of time to waste. There might be people dying and or not dying.
Well, I will leave you with the information you need then. So, what I know about these sort of portals into the other realm, they function as gates, and gates need a key to unlock them. And my understanding is that the Sacred Realm, as the location of the Triforce, you are all knowledgeable about that, of course. No?
I feel like
Mm,
heard about the Triforce from someone, right?
Jenna, what's the recollection on the Triforce?
I
Anything?
mean, wouldn't we know from the dragons?
Kind of. Would the dragons have told me about the Triforce?
I
I
don't
feel
know.
like we heard about it
I
recently.
want to say like
Yeah.
Ione told us about it.
I know a little bit about it before, and this is the only context in which I would know about it.
Duruli, we've heard some
Okay.
stories about the Triforce, but we know very little. If you know anything, please let us know.
When our world was created, and the goddesses, Din, Nehru, and Furor, left our world and ascended, behind them was left the Triforce. It is a sacred relic, not wieldable by gods, only wieldable by people like us. And the location it was left became this other plane that is sort of a twisted reflection of our own. And the way that the reflection is twisted, also, mind you, pertains greatly to the deities that inhabit it, but also to by those who enter it. So whoever enters is able to influence what it is. And you are able to enter by unlocking one of these gates at an important location with an offering emblematic of 3 values of the Triforce.
Can it be anything as long as they're important to us, or does it have to be anything specific?
Well, I've never quite done it myself, but that's the understanding that my education has brought me to.
All right. Thank you. That's very helpful. We'll sit on it and we'll try to piece things together.
We connect that back to the 3 things that we saw on Eventide. Like, do we think those are connected?
Oh no.
Anyway.
I feel
No.
like they're not related.
When the offering is made, Tara, you can use your Kokiri abilities to open the gate.
All right.
But also, if you are all intending to actually enter the Sacred Realm, please beware. You must be escorted by Kokiri at all times, otherwise the influences of that plane will seep in and potentially alter you in ways that I am not even aware.
Right.
So
I
do
mean,
not lose her.
Of course.
And be back safe to take me to Castletown.
Of course, Doruli. Thank you. You've been invaluable to saving Hyrule.
Yes, well, I certainly was not expecting the scry sensor that I saw be to lead to something like this, but I will forgive if we can accomplish my goal as well.
Just don't be alarmed if I scry on you in the future. After everything is all wrapped up and we have to meet up again, I will probably just scry on you, unless you want me to. Yeah, by the time I write you a
Well, is
letter.
he just gonna be here forever?
Yeah, are you planning on staying here
Years?
for years, actually?
Where am I planning now? Now that I have my sketchbook of my encounters in Central Hyrule, I don't need to. Well, I guess the Citadel is destroyed. I will need to rethink my plans.
Um, Also, just an off note, but before when I had learned your location, I saw a bit of your sketchbook where there were 6 figures walking along a path. I wanted to know who those figures were. I was curious. Didn't get a good look.
He pulls out one of his journals and flips it open to a page that shows a sketch of the 5 of you and Ionia meeting, like walking into sort of like I think it's mostly you guys just kind of standing there, but it has like uh, Zora domain sort of coloration and sketching and like the architecture around it. So it seems that he probably. Oh, I guess he's right here. He can explain. Yes. Well, when you all arrived, I thought it was quite interesting to see outsiders within Zora's domain as the only outsider in Zora's domain at the time. Um, and when very quickly you sort of made enemies of King Dorfin and his council, I was soon after ejected as well for not being Zora and for being an outsider, and now no one else is allowed into Zora's domain anymore.
I mean, don't you think that that's a little bit extreme of them? I feel like we're more fighting the system than the people.
I mean, it's certainly unfair, but they are just. It is just their culture. I don't know. I had a really good thing going uh, with my apprenticeship there, and it's over now. I was. I was. I was studying under Dento, along with 2 other Zoras, Frank and Leto, um, all Zora artisans who work to maintain the structures of the city. And I was researching materials and forms of construction and maintenance. Um, and I more than likely will never have such an opportunity again, unfortunately. But I wanted to remember your faces for if I saw you again, so I drew you.
Yikes. Okay, might not be as flattering than a recollection as I might have hoped, but thank you for sharing.
Well, we
Uh,
did say that we like kind of ruined his shit.
for what it's worth, if it's worth anything at this point, I'm sorry. that the apprenticeship got caught up in the whirlwind of our shenanigans. We are trying to bullet through to face Ganon very hard and very fast, and I'm very sorry.
Well, thank you for your apology. And hopefully it works out. I'm returning to self-study now, and now I have to figure out where to go next. So, good luck with your journey. Hopefully I'll see you again.
Thanks. If I come across an apprenticeship in the future, I will let you know about it.
He kind of like lets out another chuckle, kind of like similar to the what you've seen in the scry when he has like he hears something from one of the invisible, presumably Koroks that he talks to. And that's like the first like level of excitement and expression that he has revealed since you guys have started this conversation with him.
Let's teleport. Let's get the show on the road.
You guys teleport to your waypoint that you have, your teleporter location at the I presume, unless you're going somewhere else first.
Nope. Teleporter location.
Yeah.
All right. You guys scrolling back up on my document. You guys walk through your portal and arrive at the center of the Wrist Peninsula Spiral in Mayland Bay, where there's some evidence of three of you kind of camping here a few days ago, and nothing else really to be seen. What do you want to do?
Guess we gotta figure out what the
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like we still don't really know what the Triforce is to make an offering that represents it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry for the silence. I'm trying to do something. I mean, we can brainstorm. I feel like we have a few scales. I know that we usually offer them at the altar, but if we don't need the extra point of strength or anything else there, we can use those.
Yeah, the names did sound kind of similar to the dragons. I don't know if that.
They are. They are exactly the same.
Okay. Do we offered, was it Nadra's? Do we still have it? Or did it like get okay.
Hmm.
What do you guys think?
Let's see what we have in our inventory and see what can be emblematic of power, courage, and wisdom.
Oh yeah, true.
Like a powerful weapon or something. Or
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys kind of set up here and start to pour through your bags and things, looking for what could be an offering. What you got?
Wisdom. I feel like if somebody had a really smart battle strategy or something, or like a really outside the box tactic in a fight that we've had that was very iconic of us, that might be a good emblematic thing of wisdom. Like I would say my soap when I soaped my horse, because I thought that was pretty smart, but I don't think that Haile would think that's very smart. So if anybody has an idea like that, it would be great.
I mean, wisdom could also be like picking and choosing battles, knowing what is best for all or what benefits the few.
What you guys doing? Seem kind of stumped.
Yeah.
You can think about things we've done to like do it, but do we need something like tangible to offer though?
Right. Is it material
Yeah.
or more spiritual?
It feels like it might be a physical offering. That's my interpretation. But if it's just a spiritual reflection on a time that we were powerful, courageous, or wise,
Do we have where's Oh shit, we used it all up for those goddamn potions. I was gonna say we could give one of our like highest level monster parts as a thing of power, but we don't have any.
we have a banana peel from the
Yeah.
Yiga. We can, or like an eightfold blade and a mask or something.
We've got the wand of lightning bolts.
We do have that, yeah.
Are we going to be using that anymore?
I
If
mean,
you want,
I'm not super attached to it, so if we want to use it up.
I feel like it has to be something that's like truly. We have to sacrifice something of power. Let me get the sheet of holding up.
The monsters that have encampments set up along the perimeter of the peninsula that forms the shape of a spiral begin to kind of take notice that there are 5 figures at the center. They kind of look and like get close to the edge of the water to like hear across the bay to see like what it is, who you are, what it is you're doing, but sort of lose interest and intermittently go back to spearing fish in the ocean and roasting it over fires and very primitive moblin things.
This is made so much worse because I can't. The bot is having problems too, so it's just a total shit show.
So did the really clue us in that it's like these are physical offerings, or
He didn't specify.
my assumption was physical, but I guess
I'm gonna
Like-
start ritualistically casting Detect Magic, Jenna. See if I can find the exact point of this closed portal.
Um. All right. In the meantime, is anybody else doing anything?
I mean, we could start trying to think about spiritual things, like examples of stuff, because that's easier to try first than knowing like physical things to collect and
I mean, if we're
offer.
supposed to display power or courage, a bunch of monsters around. Let's
Yeah.
just go and
Yes, that's true.
flatten them.
And the wisdom to realize that that was what we were supposed to do all along.
Really, all three all at once. If you think about it.
The wisdom to not tell Kotera.
True. Yeah, right. Hmm.
I, if I could, if verbal and spiritual examples would work too, then I would think that, honestly, standing up in the face of King Dorothin and like the oppressive kingdom and everything might have been, dumb, but it was very courageous. So I think I would just reflect on doing that and maybe recount out loud about what it was like and the kind of response that we got. And although like things seem to have gotten worse for people like Daruli, I think it was like the first step towards a more inclusive society in Zora's domain.
They kicked everybody but Zora.
I think our best example of courage is not picking someone to die on the bridge,
Ooh,
refusing to.
True.
that's yeah.
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 I mean,
And maybe our best wisdom was the evacuation of Goron City, not standing
Yeah.
and fighting, but getting everyone out.
Slay. Yeah. So then it's just
Yeah.
Power, we got 4 out of the 5. Technically 5 of the divine beasts.
I think the single most greatest display of power was clearing out the entire Yiga clan and
But
going
it's
through
all
waves
Yiga.
and waves and waves of enemies and clearing 70 or 80 enemies all in one go.
And then also their Cthulhu guy they summoned.
Right.
Yeah, that is also a great show of power.
So what I'm saying here is that we're really thankful for the Yiga clan for giving us
3 out of 3 displays.
Without the Yiga clan, crime has no punchline.
You guys, as you sort of look through your stuff and ponder if you should perhaps slay the monsters around the peninsula, you kind of reminisce over these things and talk about the ways in which you've all, as a collective group, exhibited the values of the Triforce: power, wisdom, and courage. And uh, I mean, probably like also around the time that like Aquila, your ritual casting detect magic ends. There is it pings you towards, and this also begins to light up for everybody as well. There is a tiny impression etched in the stone, sort of like beneath the sand, at the center of the spiral of a Triforce, and the triangles that make it up, the 3 triangles stacked, um, sort of give a soft gold glow.
I try to uncover to see if there's more stone around it.
You brush the sand, the loose sand off of like the hard, solid like sandstone material that is underneath that makes up this peninsula. Um, it is just that. It is just a very tiny. It's probably like 2 inches, like 2 inches tall. It is a tiny, tiny little triangle, or series of 3 triangles, and it glows very softly.
I mean, are we gonna try for a second? Or
Do we want to touch any of the one of the 3 pieces?
I feel like I mean, yeah, I think maybe we can try you all touching me, touching the thing, just
It's a good idea.
get separated.
Yeah.
We can try that first.
Yeah, you all kind of uh reach out a hand and hold on to Natara as she bends down to the ground and with one of her scaly kind of clawed Zora fingers touches the little glowing icon. Um, Nothing happens. It continues to glow. It feels a little warm to the touch, Natara. Though perhaps that's just the hot sun uh, beating down on the sand.
Can I make some sort
Do
of
we have to
I
do?
think you need to
I mean,
do something here.
yeah, I mean, I can try to use the ethereal step. And then I guess worst case scenario after six, I just go by myself and come back after 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So I guess we can try that. I'll still like touch the symbol. I think maybe also it could be that we need to like come up with more things and it'll
I think the last step was like after we've come up with all of them, then the Kokiri needs to shift
Yeah.
over to the other plane. So I think your
Yeah.
strategy is right. I think you just need to ethereal step over.
All right, I will use my ethereal step.
You all watch as Natara blinks out of existence on the material plane, and Natara, you reemerge in the uh, very unusual land on the other side. You see the same golden Triforce glowing in the dirt, and above it is a handle floating. Handle to a door.
I open it.
And you all see as Natara opens an invisible
Wow.
door and reveals the gate into the sacred realm.
It was just locked, guys. Come on.
Dun, 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 dun.
Uh, when you guys hear this Sacred Realm music after this temporary technical difficulties goes away, oh my god, you're gonna friggin' pug your asses off.
You guys walk through and
Yeah, I
join her
think
on the
we.
other side.
Well, no. We should wait for her to come to us.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yes.
Natara, you're not blinking back. As you've
Okay.
kind of, by opening the door outward into the material plane, have already kind of half come back uh, in your form.
Okay. Can I mean, I guess, yeah. Can I go? So I can't, I guess, do I have to like fully go out to like reappear in the material plane, or can I like kind of be halfway through like in doorway in the metaphysical doorway?
You don't get the sense that you have to do that. You feel like you are functioning as a keeper of this gate at this point, and you are uh, as you have entered, you are allowing others to enter as well and are present in that world. You don't feel like you're about to blip back.
Okay. So can I kind of just like go back and indicate that they should come with me?
Yeah, you hold the door open for them.
And like reach out a hand. We're all gonna hold everybody's hands like we are 5 years old.
That's honestly the best strategy.
Yeah, probably.
We've been doing
I'm
this
gonna get 50 feet
forever.
of fucking rope out.
I, I've created like one of those like things like in daycare where they've got like the handles on the.
Oh my god.
She's used her weaving skills to.
Make child harnesses.
Natara's got all four of you on a child leash.
Honestly deserved.
Yeah.
It is no longer metaphorical. It is physical. But you guys all enter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get us in there.
You guys walk through the door as Natara holds it open. And Natara, you feel as everybody kind of comes through, the door is sort of like wheeling itself shut. So you kind of release and allow it to shut. And the doorknob disappears, and the glow in the Triforce of in the floor in the ground also fades away, though the inlay remains. and you guys have entered the sacred realm. In this place, the first thing that catches your eye
Yippee.
is that the sky is no longer blue, but gold, with 3 triangular clouds high above the land. And the land shimmers in vibrant opalescent colors. Uh, Large creatures fly in the distance high above, and the monsters that inhabited Wrist Peninsula are no longer here. While the landscape has so many details to behold on this unusual plane, you'll soon take notice. Let me turn that down.
Sorry, I feel so much better. Uh,
Okay.
okay, go on.
So you're beholding everything on this unusual plane, and then you all take notice that Natara's scales are also shimmering in the same iridescent way. Not really like as a reflection of the world around you, like they're just innately doing that, like innately reflecting, but it's like it is just that is how she exists in this space. Whoa, pretty. You all hear a small voice say. Looking down, you see a small wooden creature with a leaf mask over their face, looking up at you all, standing in front of a little structure made of leaves and rocks that was not there before. Hi.
Hello.
Is this a Korok?
Yes, this is.
All right.
What's
Cool.
your name?
No
Rowie?
further questions, Your Honor.
I'm Rowie. You guys just kind of showed up here. That's kind of cool.
Looking for Misha.
You know Asia?
Yeah.
Where? Where is Misha?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. Great.
We know someone just like you where we're from. How long have you been here?
I don't know.
We should not be wasting our
You're
time
so
with
right,
this.
Akila. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you. Good day. Let's just continue.
Bye. You guys.
He hasn't even said yahaha. That's insane.
I don't think Jenna's microphone would pick it up.
No, I don't think so either. But also, you guys didn't do anything to make him respond that way. But you, uh, you, I guess, begin to make your way around the spiral, perhaps. Just kind of taking in the land, a sea of shifting shades of pinks and reds and purples and oranges expands far out into the distance, and the sandy beaches no longer that sort of mundane sandy color. They are like a seafoam green and vibrant as you walk along. I mean, I'd ask for a perception check, but Natara has a passive perception of 20 now, so I don't know that there's anything that you guys cannot notice in most cases. Plus, Natara, I mean, this land has you have some kind of connection to this land somehow. You pick up on uh, in the beaches to the north of you, along the Akala Sea. There is a large figure surrounded by a multitude of smaller figures. They seem to be battling,
Oh
interestingly
man.
enough.
What does the large figure look like?
Give me a perception check.
17.
Very tall figure, and you keep catching like reflections of like some kind of shimmery armor, but beyond that, it's really far away. Tough to see.
I mean, if you're seeing armor, the great area of protection seems reasonable. Does magic seem to work here?
What are you doing?
Like, I mean, let me just see if I have any cantrips that are not like terrible. I guess I have mage hand. Can I like summon a mage hand?
Yeah, you summon a mage hand.
And it's not like psychedelic, freaky.
What's it normally look like?
It normally looks like a regular hand.
You summon a regular hand.
Okay. All right. I mean, I don't know if we want to stand here and try and be like,
No,
try.
let's be
But,
like
like-
for, I think the figure is probably the biggest lead that we have.
Yeah, I'm like trying to think because I know because it's like she's around Akala.
Yeah.
I mean, at the
Um,
very least, we can help this person, and they might be able to point us in the right direction if it's not
Yeah.
her.
True.
No
Okay.
one's just stumbling in here. This has to be someone important.
Let's head that way, Jenna, towards the war that's happening over there.
Okay. You guys are on you probably have reached like the north side of the peninsula, in its spiral shape, when you clock this and are looking for it. And I think that Natara with Lydian kind of saying, "All right, let's head to that." The thought kind of crosses your mind of like it's sort of like a natural thing for you to be like, "Oh, we can go straight there because it's through the water." Right? And as you kind of think that, the waves on of this sort of like multicolored ocean kind of stop in a direct path to that shore.
Freaky.
Oh, that's cool though.
It's like a thought realm.
Yeah.
Thought.
Finally.
Sorry. Sorry.
The thought realm. We're
Finally,
here.
finally, Anari's dimension.
We're in the Inari dimension.
all right, guess we're going.
You guys watch Natara step onto the sea and walk across it as if it's just a smooth glass surface. Do you follow?
Wow.
Yes.
Better.
Yes.
Yeah.
You better be.
We'll have no
Yeah.
choice.
Gang, let's split up.
Sticking
Waiting
very
for
close.
like, if you walk outside of 30 feet of Natara, you instantly die.
Sticking very
Natara
close to
is
Natara.
still making everybody hold hands.
Sticking very close to Natara, you guys begin to walk across the smooth part of the sea directly towards what is happening. And as you're getting closer, you see that there is indeed a tall figure, huge. One might even describe them to be in size. Uh, that is engaged in battle with some. I mean, they look like skeletons, but they are very tall, very, very tall. And there are a lot of them. There's also, as you're getting closer, sort of a glowing teal-ish light that is emanating from just a point in space on the shore. I think that as you all get closer, everybody except for Aquila would recognize this as a spot that you were talking to Ron after Makala Island. Or no, what is it? It's Lomai Labyrinth Island.
Mhm.
Yes.
this being the exact point that his grotto was located.
But now there's a teal light,
Now
sort
there
of
is a
to
teal
represent him.
light, and there are skeletons around, and there is a very tall figure of a woman with long purple hair that is battling them. She does not have a weapon. She has a shield. And that is how she is sort of maneuvering the battlefield. We'll take a break here and come back and see what's going on.
Excitement.
I'm so intrigued.
Are all the dead people mad because they actually died?
We'll see. All right, back on the stream now. Yes, so you guys continue across the Colosseum, approaching this woman, and now getting even closer, you can see that there are several of these giant skeletons that have fallen already on the beach around her. I will move you to where you can see. And for the sake of, I think, of movement and like seeing things that happen, I would like us to enter initiative, if you don't mind.
We're still on the map.
I thought oh, I did move it. It's a new like arrangement.
Whoa.
Whoa. Seeing the visuals for the seafoam sand is really cool.
We're in like an Outrider dimension. Very Miami Vice.
All right, initiative. Cool.
Get these guys.
Okay, Sash. Okay, guys.
Natara, hello, my fellow my fellow alert.
Hopefully that does that and doesn't come up as the other thing. Oh, okay, it comes up as the other thing. That's fine. Whatever. It's fine. All right. Akila, is there anything you want to do as you got as the first one here, seeing stuff going on?
So those the destroyed skeletons there, seem like they're down for good, or
Give me a roll. What kind of check would that be?
Nature? Question mark.
I would think nature or something.
Thinking like religion because they're undead. I
Fair.
think. Yeah, give me religion.
It's intelligence based, so
Yeah, either way.
25.
Jesus Christ. It. So for context, these tokens are representing like a unit of multiple skeletons. The ones that are downed seem destroyed in a way. I guess I'm trying to figure out how to like say this with a 25. Yes, it seems like they are down, but it's in like a way that is sort of unrecognizable that they are down, because I feel like you would expect some kind of undead thing to require taking like radiant or fire damage or some kind of thing that you know would keep something from coming back. These guys seem somewhat like blown apart a bit in like a sort of disintegrated way.
Okay.
I think that's the best way I can say that.
Can I wait to move with Natara?
Yes, I'm also going to put a aura on Atara.
Natara.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Natara Aura.
Her true form.
Oh, there it
Square.
is.
Square. Can we make it a different color?
It'll be nicer on land, so we just gotta
It
wait.
will be nicer on land, but
Okay.
We'll
how
keep it.
about
We'll keep it.
this? How about that?
That's arguably worse, but fine.
You can go back. It's fine.
How about
Can we get like a hot pink or something?
Really, yeah,
That's
that's
better.
good.
That's
That's
slightly threatening, but that's fine.
I mean, it's threatening. Don't leave that aura.
Yeah, don't leave. That's the danger.
Can I like sort of see this aura, or is it just like just for us to as like a game mechanic
I
thing?
do feel like to a degree you guys can see that there is an edge to the space that like Natara is emanating something and you can feel it. And I think that you can kind of sense where the edge would be.
Okay, great. I will move to the edge then.
Okay.
Guys, we gotta get south in here.
So if I did the oh, if I did like the distance strike thing where I pass between planes and teleport, do I go back into the normal plane?
Yes, I think so.
I'm not gonna try it. I don't want to risk leaving anyone behind.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
think that
leaving.
the answer to that would be hopefully you go back to the other plane also. But anyway, Akila, is there any action you want to take?
I guess I will use my all-purpose tool, or sorry, my Forgotten Requiem, to cast Chill Touch on the crowd that is engaging the giant figure from the south.
Okay. Is that a save that they need to make?
No, it's just an attack roll. So, oh, crit fail.
Unfortunately, we'll miss in that case. Anything else?
Think about
No, that's it.
Lydia.
Can I I'll also move up kind of between Aquila and the rest of the pack, and I want to try to read the countenance of the woman to see if if she's exhausted from fighting, if she would want to keep fighting, or if she seems like she's losing, if she seems like she doesn't care. Like, what is the general
Give me
disposition?
insight. Try and read into the fight.
29.
29. Jesus Christ, you guys. Uh yeah, I mean, it seems like it's hard to say how long she's been going because you see that there are plenty of destroyed skeletons littering this beach, but she does not seem to be breaking a sweat. Uh it seems I will say on a 29 trying to get a read on like this fight here, has worked her way towards this light. And additionally, uh in that being said, the skeletons that are in that light may have just arrived.
Does she seem like to antagonize, I guess, the light, which I assume is like Ron's energy or something? Like, is she going towards it like with malintent to like destroy it, or like to protect it, or I don't know. I guess like I wouldn't
Be able to
know. I
read
guess
that.
unless
I think you could read that with a 29 insight. I mean, it seems she's heading there to with malintent. Yeah, I think she has something against that, and she's heading there to do something about it.
Can I call out to her?
Sure. What do you say?
I say I wouldn't say hello. I would just be like, hey, as loud as I can because I'm very far away.
You call out to her, and she is still very locked in this battle. She's kind of like spinning around with this shield that she has, bashing skeletons, and she like turns, and you see her side profile and her corner of her eye, and turns to hear you, and she says, "No, stop! You'll make it worse."
Make it worse. I'll to show her that we're on her side, I guess. I'm gonna cast Synaptic Static, I think, in a way that damages the skeletons to herself.
Okay. Is that a save that they need to make?
Yes. Intelligence.
That's a 5.
5 fails. They all take 25 psychic damage.
Okay. Those numbers are really thinning, those guys.
And then, if it matters at all, they all have muddled thoughts, so they roll a d6 and subtract it from any attack rolls or ability checks.
Okay.
But that's it. I will just yeah, just doing that one attack and showing her that I'm here to help her, I guess, if she's defending all these skeletons.
Yeah, she will, on her turn now, she is next. She does another one of those you kind of saw as you were approaching, a spin around type of thing. And let me see. What is this? 1, 2, 3. All three of these units will fail. Okay. That destroys this unit, and then these both take a chunk of damage. But basically, you deal some damage to those skeletons. She turns around and destroys them, kind of like on the assist of you, and she says, "Get out of the water!" Or I should say water. God damn it! Get out of the water and stop! Don't fight them.
Okay.
And what was she? She's bonus action. No, she won't use bonus action. But anyway, Natara, your turn.
I mean, I'm gonna do what she says, to the best of my ability, keeping everybody within my little square. I guess I have seen Misha before. Does
Mhm.
this look like Misha?
It definitely resembles her, but in this form, you have not seen her. You've seen her like all of the other fairies, adorned in jewelry and, very just like, hi, I'm the fairy, like that kind of thing. And this woman seems to be clad in armor and just bashing the shit out of skeletons right now. But
Okay.
definitely, definitely, definitely resembles and is likely Misha.
Okay. I am going to use some movement to make my way towards the land. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I can pause here and still have everybody in my little square. And I think that's all my movement anyway, so I'm gonna stop there and not fight them.
Okay. Any other action or anything that you take?
I don't think so. I don't think I have anything that makes sense to do.
Okay. Or Hannah, what would you like to do?
I will move on to the land. And I will dash. Use my action to dash.
Okay.
Just to get a little bit more on there. Here, man, I would like to use my bonus action to try to get insightful fighting on presumably the Great Fairy.
Okay.
I'm the suspicious guy. I want to
Yeah.
make sure, just in case things go south, that I'm ready. Ooh. That's a 13 insight.
I got a 6.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. You gain insightful fighting. All right.
That's everything.
This unit up here is going to attack her next, sending a volley of arrows her way. I think. She makes a save. Let me see how this plays out. She succeeds, takes half for an amount. Okay. She catches like most of them with her shield, but still takes a couple. Inari, it is your turn.
Oh, you're muted.
Muted.
Sorry, I thought I turned that off or on. I'm gonna have Inari dash to land. Help if I didn't click the ruler. So I'll have her move like right here, or yeah, here. And I mean, it's really all she can do. But I might bonus action just cast. What is it? Ooh, can I cast blood? No, that's an action. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna sit there and okay, what is the range of this? Okay, I don't think there's enough people. Let me just measure something. Might do something here. Okay, just to be safe. Actually, that's probably not a. You know what? No, what? I'm gonna use my sorcery points to bonus action cast Bless, just in case. And I'm gonna do that for these three since you are all closest to me.
Bless up, baby.
And I'll set that just so everyone has it.
Cool.
Both of the units that are adjacent to the fairy miss on their short sword attacks. At the top of the round here, though, the sea, the water begins to glow and rise kind of rapidly. Akila, what would you like to do?
Rising how? Like the
Upwards, like just seeping onto the beaches and vertically, like onto the bits of land that you guys are. The sea level is increasing.
but it seems like we're like when we walk, it's still like a hard surface.
The parts that you were on, yes.
Okay.
That wasn't like the whole ocean. It was like a path is created for you.
Does it seem like the islet that me and Anari are on is gonna go underwater in a bit then?
Yes.
Okay. All right. The blue. Does it look like that group of Stalkins emerged from it?
Yes.
Just like sort of stepped out or materialized around it? Like does it seem like it's a portal itself?
Does not seem like it's the same kind of thing that you guys just came through moments ago, but it seems like they materialized here.
That's all my movement there. I'm going to try and cast Dispel Magic on the blue sphere.
Okay. Can you send Dispel Magic real quick? Okay. So this is not a spell necessarily. This is a magical effect, but this is going to be a contested roll. I'm still going to have you roll using like the DC, like the not the DC, but using the ability check using your spellcasting ability um, to see if you're able to dispel this.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. I'm gonna bump that to a 29.
29 will definitely do it. I cannot get rid of it on the screen because I built it into the map, but the bluish green light goes out, and the that last bit of skeletons that materialized will be the last that come through. Okay.
That's my turn.
Misha sees that and says, "Oh no. I appreciate your help, but I don't think you realize what you're doing." Lydian.
Hold on, my roll 20 is freezing. But oh, I might all be freezing. If I go out, let me know. I will call out to her and say, why is this so dangerous? Or like, tell us why we shouldn't be doing these things. What's going on?
She is like preoccupied, like slamming skeletons down and everything. Again, giant skeletons. They are all like very they're all very big. And she says, I'm trying to keep I'm trying to stop this, but you are not meant to.
Well, we're here to help. That's literally why we're here. We are here
God,
to
I
find
hate
you, Misha.
I hate every great fairy. They're all
Misha,
bad.
Misha, we're
Welcome to the
here
club,
for you.
buddy.
We're here for you, and we're here to stop the war.
What are you doing on your turn?
Saying that to her.
Are you doing it? Are you taking any actions or anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna action. What's up?
Move out of the water.
Yeah,
Poor
no,
Johanna.
I'm actually gonna I think I can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I can get to the very corner there. And I don't know what to do for my action because she did not fight them. I'm just gonna be chatting with her. I don't have anything specific to do.
Okay. Yep. With the intense scene here, water rising, giant fairy lady fighting skeletons, you guys trying to lend aid, and her seeming to reject it time and time again. She turns around and waves her hand at you guys in sort of a gesturing manner, and suddenly you're not here anymore. You are no longer on this green beach, but are now sitting on I'm just going to put it back on this screen, are now sitting on oversized furniture in a house made of roots that rise from the ground and weave together, forming walls, doorways, and a ceiling. There's an ornate stained glass window open to the outside air, which smells of sweet amaranth. And you guys are no longer at this location.
Are we in the material world or in the spirit or in the sacred realm still?
You look outside the open window, the sky is still gold.
Okay.
House.
We're in her house. She put us in her house.
I hate fairy guys. Like,
Hate's a strong word. She is obviously preoccupied, but she could have been a little bit more clear, yes.
but also, you're not. I'm supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do this. Like, what does that even mean? Like,
Hylia knows.
seems a little self-centered, if you ask me.
I kind of disagree. She emerges around the corner, no longer dressed in all of the full armor, just kind of back in her more like ornate fairy wear, as if nothing was happening just a few seconds ago. Um, she says she enters this room and sits down in a chair that is sized appropriately for her, but all this furniture is like 3 times too big for you guys. And she crosses her legs and she says, "First of all, are you all right?"
I don't think we have a scratch on us, right?
Yeah, I feel like we're good.
Yeah.
Right now, yes, in general. In terms of the state of which we live in. No.
I feel that. Good to see you again, Natara.
You as well.
Now, what was that all about? Why did you guys come and try to help me?
Well, the war has kind of leaked into the material plane in a very real and an unavoidable way, and we had to take the necessary steps with our powers and with our friends and with our abilities to come put a stop to it with whatever means we can. It's gotten unlivable on the material plane.
I'm so sorry that it has come to that, but you don't know how happy it makes me to hear that you've come all this way to help.
Of course. I mean, yes. Like it's we would be foolish not to.
I mean,
What can we do to broker peace?
well, I think there's a lot we will need to be discussing to get to that point. I am the Great Fairy, Misha, as I'm sure Natara, I know you are aware, but for those of you who we have not met face to face before, welcome to my home in the Sacred Realm. I apologize if you came to seek me out at my grotto and I was unavailable. I'm currently trying to solve everything myself here. My siblings are feuding, and we are forbidden from directly harming each other, but we're able to do so through our armies that we sort of have at our disposal. What you all just witnessed was from my dear brother Ron. He had a very powerful declaration of magic that manifested at that location, and I was just trying to weaken it, put a stop to it. And thank you, Miss. She gestures to you, Aquila.
Aquila.
Miss Aquila, for spelling it yourself. Unfortunately, that has made you directly an enemy of Ron. For doing
Well, it wouldn't be the first time I have a vendetta against the Great Fairy.
So, forgive me for discrediting your help. I do not mean to insult any of you. It is simply that if anyone is to take fault and blame and the attentions of my siblings, I would prefer it be me, so that it does not fall to mortals like yourselves. But
Misha.
I wish Anari had
Whip out the bag and just be like, "Oh, we're coming for Ron."
I'd like to not put my dad back in that. That would be ideal.
funny if
Misha.
Anari had a way to dispel it.
Yeah.
So Misha, from what we understand with the Great Fairy War, it seems to be the world against Terra. Terra seems to be the aggressor in this. Is there anything? And obviously, you were just fighting back against Ron's forces. I guess trying to play the neutral card. Is there anything else about this war that we should know that's fundamental to our understanding?
there's so much to know. Yes, definitely. Well, my as my siblings may seem to believe, I did retreat into this realm not to protect myself, but instead to keep all of them from destroying each other and everyone else. I've been here just keeping their armies and the champions of the other fairies from tearing apart the realm as best I can, but I myself have not been able to figure out the true source of the feuding, because yes, Terra is certainly taken a lot of attacks and put a lot of magical energy into this, but it doesn't quite add up. Uh, do you all have some insights that might help me get a better picture of what's happening here?
Oh,
There,
Have,
I mean,
have we got a story for you?
we can.
I think it all goes
I think
back
it
to
all
when
goes
you
back-
first met Amnesia.
Yeah, when I prevented Ozzy from stealing your whatever it is that she tried to take. I I don't know. I guess I'll kind of like explain all of the interactions with Ozzy, how she was kind of like the first person to mention like anything about a Great Fairy War, and that it seems maybe that like her and Phasia have been kind of trying to orchestrate something. I don't know that for sure, but given that was kind of the first place I heard about it, there could be something more there. But also, we did fight Terra's champion and beat her, so that probably didn't help matters. And but at this point, Phasia is the only great fairy that we have not had any sort of contact with direct.
Okay. So you've encountered the champion of Phasia a couple times. And that was where you and I first met. That makes sense. Why did you fight the champion of Terra?
Slowly turn around to Inari.
It's kind of a combination of no, not really.
It is definitely a package deal.
Is the
Not all my fault.
And reasons that might not
Yeah.
make any sense to mortals now.
No, I don't. Yeah.
she
Um,
felt betrayed by Inari and wanted to fight Inari, and Lord Hannon was also assigned to fight her by Kotera. So we kind of had a joint being an aggressor and protect. I don't know.
It was kind of a
But-
kill or be killed sort of scenario.
Yes, but we did kind of solve that though, because
We didn't kill her.
Yeah, we didn't
No, we
kill
actually.
her.
In fact, Inari kissed her.
I don't really know why, but I did.
If that
yeah.
makes. Yeah, I'm sure Case is happy about that.
You defeated the champion of Terra, and then kissed the defeated champion of Terra. Well,
Mhm.
that should be fine. I mean, you've all just said the champion of Kotera is right. You guys just told her Lorhanan is the champion of Kotera,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Lorhanan, you are the champion of Kotera. I mean, by association, Miss Inari, if you have no ties to a fairy, then it should be completely all right. Even though you associate with the champion of Kotera.
So what if I told you that I am Ron's daughter?
I see. Okay.
What a tangled web.
Are you the one that freed your father?
That would be all of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be all of us.
Okay. So, you've intercepted a champion from an act against another fairy, became a champion of another fairy, freed a trapped fairy who was your father,
Mhm.
defeated the champion of Terra, then kissed the defeated champion of Terra.
Yeah. Well, just Inari kissed her.
Inexplicably so. But yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other fairies? You've said you've met everyone but
Leho.
Phasia.
We did a task for Leho too.
Oh, we did a task for Leho, and also we
And
just.
someone is a servant of
What?
Somebody's a servant of
Never mind. Never mind.
me.
No. But yes, we did a task for Leiho.
Also, Aquila just antagonized Ron too. That's if we want to throw that on there.
We've only talked to Kesa.
Yeah, Keith is
right.
cool. Keith is
Kesa
really
is
nice.
my twin.
No.
Yes. Yeah.
He's okay, I guess.
All right. So you've also brought back a long dormant fairy and completed her trials. Is that the correct statement with my sister Leiho?
Sure. But she stated she has no interest in the war.
She
Well.
doesn't seem to want to move or interact with anyone else.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes with her. Okay. All right.
Okay.
What blessings and items have you received from fairies?
Given or taken?
Oh boy, I don't like that as a response. Given and taken.
Well, we found some things from Phasia, or Phasia, that
Presumably.
we didn't touch at all. We just threw them in our bag of holding and have been carrying them the whole time. But there's 3 blessings or 3 items from her associated with her magic, at least. I don't know if they're blessings.
We also stole a bunch of jewelry from the champion of Terra.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got the
We've got Misha's
Misha's
bracers of
bracers.
protection.
the
And we also have extra attunement
rings
slot.
from Terra.
We have an attunement slot from Leiho. Yeah. So, as you can see, we haven't interacted with any great fairies whatsoever.
All right. So you've met 6 of the 7 current great fairies, where most mortals meet
All right.
1 to 2 in their lives, if any. Now, in case there are any other influences from my siblings affecting you, I guess raise your hand if you've ever mourned a loss at Ebon Mountain. No? No one? Okay. Received a soulmate atop Tuft Mountain.
Oh, where is Tuft Mountain? Can I hold up my map?
You hold up your map.
What counts as received a soulmate?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No one knows that this happened.
That is happening beforehand.
If you that's a case of blessing. I believe if you go to the top Tuft Mountain, there's a sacred body of water known as Lover's Pond, and
Oh,
if you go up there while there is another person up there, that person is there because they're your soulmate.
okay. Well, not me. I met my
Brandon
girlfriend.
raises his hand. And like,
What?
sounds like an
That
experience
seems a bit
Well,
arbitrary.
We taught you what.
I don't know quite how it works. It's Kesa's love magic. It's not something that's innate to me.
So let's assume that has happened.
Yes.
my god.
That would mean that whomever that has happened to has a blessing from Kesa. So your hands are not as clean from my twin sister as you think.
Lord Hannon.
Sorry, guys.
Lorhan and you smooth dog.
All right, back to
I met a wretchful crow lady up there. Like,
A wretchful crow lady.
A
What?
wretchful crow.
she was vile.
Wait, what?
Vile?
She's vile.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
so-
did you like it? Did you like her vileness?
Well, even if he did, he can't answer now because he wouldn't know.
Yeah,
That's
doesn't
fair.
know.
That's fair.
Honestly, we walk into a town and 3 out of us are just trying to find someone new every time.
That's
Okay.
not true.
You know what?
I've
For
been
you, it
potent-
was true for a solid 2 months.
Yes, but I've found somebody steady, and then the Great Fairy of Love decided our love was not gonna happen anymore, so it's kind of on the rocks right now. But you know what? It's been steady, so
Fine. Can we continue going through these stupid rituals that have somehow entangled us in this pointless conflict?
I think I'm gonna win this
Looking
game.
For a soulmate, that is preposterous.
Why did you go up there?
Yeah.
I think we're missing the point. Why is going up a mountain somehow making you a pawn in a conflict?
I
There's
am
not
the
a great fairy
wrong
of
fairy
gambling, is
to
there?
ask about that. I do not think it makes logical sense either. It's more of a artsy thing of cases.
All right, so
Okay.
we'll have to figure that out.
I think I might be in the clear here. What are the rest of this checklist? Is there a great fairy of gambling?
What?
Not that I know of. You
Okay,
could probably
perfect.
ask Kotera if there has ever been a great fairy of
No.
gambling.
No, we're past that.
Anyway, have any of you cleansed a dark secret at Purifier Lake?
No.
No.
Okay.
I don't.
This is more. That sounds more serious than climbing a mountain, by the way.
Have any of you endured the Isle of Rabak, Kalora Lake, Hebrew Peak?
Yeah. Well, no.
I don't
Didn't
think
go to the
so.
feet. He didn't go to the feet.
No.
Okay, those would have been Terra's blessings. Have any of you traveled through a time shift stone?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
All of us.
Like a few, actually.
Several times.
Okay. Well, that's just a Leho thing, so perhaps that is not as serious of this list, but still should be considered in the equation I'm sort of putting together in my head right now. Are there any other odd encounters you faced that I may not be aware of? Strange
Like, are-
entities, unexplainable experiences pertaining to any of our domains? And I can run through what all of our domains are if you need to
That
a
might
refresher
actually
of
be great.
something. Okay. In order of seniority, Terra is the great fairy of the earth, its three elements, cold, fire, lightning, and its creatures. Her sacred plant is all Saplina varieties for their connection to the elements, and diamonds are her gem.
We've
Ron?
used diamonds to bring people back from the dead.
We've also eaten lots of Saflina. They make great veggie dishes.
I don't think that's a problem necessarily. It's more so, have you ever woken up surrounded by Saplina? Like anything unusual to do with these. So,
Not that I can recall, yeah.
all right. Well, Ron is the great fairy of water, spirits, ancestry. His sacred plant is the Hyrule herb for its tradition, and sapphires are his gem.
No.
Okay.
Would we cover that Nakara has a blessing from Ron?
I mentioned that.
Mhm. This is more so.
I'll-
Have you encountered anything just in Hyrule that maybe like one of these things kind of reminds you of that was just unusual because it could pertain to one of my siblings? What were we gonna say? Matt, were you gonna say
Me?
something? Yeah.
I was just gonna say that I have sapphire earrings, but that's probably not
Yeah, I
important
think
right now.
you think you're really missing the point here, Lydia.
I just don't want to get in trouble.
Sapphire
Like
earrings from Terra?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, we should
Question
mention those.
Okay. I just don't want to get in trouble. I'm sorry. Continue.
All right. Kotera is the great fairy of healing, secrets, and truth. Her sacred plant is blue nightshade for its symbolism for both stealth and of revealing. Opals are her gem. Leho, great fairy of light, technology, and time. Her sacred plant is the swift violet for its symbolism of advancement, grace, and topaz is her gem. My twin, Kesa, is the great fairy of love, beauty, and the moon. Her sacred plant is the mighty thistle for its ancient allegorical ties to falling in love, and rubies are her gem. I am
We
the great.
fought several blood moons.
Yeah, blood moons.
Hmm. Well, I don't know that that's necessarily her. So you're probably fine. I am the Great Fairy of Strategy, Protection, and Craft. My sacred plant is the Amaranth for its symbolism of defense and patience, and amethysts are my gem. I don't believe I have specific ties to any of you except for Natara. You have my bracers of defense. Or whatever they were called. I don't remember. I think they were called that.
Yeah.
And then finally, Phasia, the youngest, Great Fairy of Trickery, Chaos, and Magic. Her sacred plant is the Goron spice for its unpredictability, as she says, and kick, as she would call it. And emeralds are her gem.
Trickery, magic, and what?
Chaos.
Chaos.
Chaos. Okay.
Well, we did have that encounter at the stable with the
Oh yeah, with like those weird.
feral subrace of pilot, but I don't think that was necessarily like something happening to us.
Do you know of any sort of other strings that Phasia might have pulled? She seems to work very surreptitiously given her nature and everything, and personally, we're not too fond of Ozzy, her champion.
Yeah, I don't know how that came to be. Phasia's not really one to take a champion.
You think Ozzy might have been lying to us?
I don't know about that. I mean, what have your encounters with her been like?
Very strange and annoying.
She's very uppity and
Cryptic.
cryptic. Yes.
She seems to think that she knows more than you, which might be true, but it's kind of like an I know something you don't about something you want to know about, but I'm not going to tell you. Or I want you to tell me that you want to know.
Yeah, very transactional in a very manipulative way.
Almost like a fae way.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
is it possible that Ozzy is aphasia?
Oh, and just materializing.
Would make sense when she was teleporting away.
And her bright pink hair.
Could fairies do that?
Yeah.
Great.
She definitely could. She was using the gate at Risk Peninsula. If a fairy knows where a gate is, they can use it to pass through to your plane.
That explains it. I was
Why
about that when
Kotera
we
wants
were
to.
explained like Kotera wants to know, but also that's when we were trying to get in, I was like, Ozzy was trying to get here. Like, how could she get through? Like, how could she go back? That
If
would
she was a
explain
fairy,
how.
she could just open the door.
Yeah.
Why would a fairy want to be in like a sort of more?
You kind of cut out, I'm sorry.
Why would a fairy want to be in a mortal form?
I mean, you guys didn't realize that it was a fairy.
Sure, but
She
shouldn't she
is-
do that with some sort of illusion anyway?
She is trickery and chaos incarnate. Probably just to deceive and sow chaos in the lives of people in Hyrule.
She's certainly
Regardless.
trying to do that to us.
What does your tally of our interactions with the Great Fairies actually come down to? Do we need to gather all their champions and fight them at once? Do we need to make some sort of offering to them?
I think that this comes down to Phasia. if Phasia was able to get through to the material plane and roam free, not just through moving her grotto, but move about anywhere as she pleased, she could have been pulling more strings than we know.
Oh, did Odie talk to like Terra at all? Like, I
feel like she might have. Do I have her?
No. Yeah, what did she tell us when she was right outside the labyrinth?
she told us the war had started.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I have the letter that I got from her. Was just kind of like, I know what you've been doing. Like, we,
Right, she
With
wanted to
Misha.
stop us from doing this.
yeah, it said, recently caught my attention a little bit since you've been sort of swimming around the fairy social circles, first with Misha and most recently Terra. However, your involvement in freeing Ron is actually unacceptable. Unless you want an all-out Archfey war, please keep away from the rest of the Great Fairies.
Sound helpful at all?
Sounds like she was goading you a bit into continuing
Yes.
down the path you were on already.
Trickery.
I mean, yes. What do I have in my notes? I have anything? I don't really have that much from the.
Do we do then? Like,
Is the key then to find her and like, I don't know, stop her from her reign of chaos and trickery or something? Is she the one sowing all the seeds to this conflict?
It seems like it. All right, well, I think then. So,
I'm,
go ahead.
I have a suggestion. Does it make any sense if we find her grotto on this plane and we somehow like antagonize it or something? Would she come back to us to defend her grotto? Maybe we can find her that way, just lead her to us.
Yeah, she would.
Do you know anything about where it might be?
I know
I
exactly where it is.
I have a feeling it's in Great Hyrule Forest.
It's not far from there. It's inside.
Is she more powerful on this plane, though?
I mean, given that this plane is shifted to a more chaotic nature, I have to imagine she probably is, and that's potentially why she's doing this. She wants the war to be more powerful because there's more chaos.
Right.
Yeah. She's not far from there. She is in Death Mountain.
In the volcano?
Yes.
What is the volcano like on this plane?
Well, it's not not deadly in the same way as it is on your plane. Doesn't flow with lava.
Oh.
But the journey there is incredibly dangerous. This is difficult. I have many things that I have to keep tending to. My siblings, in their acts, are able to generate armies and sort of large summons of sorts on this plane that I am trying to keep from destroying each other. I mean, there haven't always been 7 great fairies. Like, yes, there are currently 7 of us, but there used to be more of us, even before I was around. We are killable, but I don't want to lose any more of my siblings. It's sort of my job to protect them and the people of Hyrule and everyone. So I have a lot of things that I need to focus my consciousness on in this plane, and I don't know that I'll be able to tag along with you for the entire journey. But if you need me and you need my protection, just reach out. Call on my protection and I'll be there. Okay?
Absolutely.
So what does stopping Asia look like?
That's what I was going to ask.
I suppose you should talk to her first. Try and get an understanding of her motivations and see if there's an agreement that can be reached. And if there's not an agreement that can be reached, then we'll have to reach the agreement by force.
Do you know of any sort of abilities or anything about her that might give us a strategic advantage if we knew about it beforehand?
She is young. She is younger than myself and Kesa. It doesn't mean that she is naive, but it means that she has not seen a lot of what the older fairies have seen tens of thousands of years ago. She's only a few thousand years old. She is also pertaining to the domain of magic. So, as
Would
such,
we not be able to use magic?
I would just say be wary of the magic you choose to use when around her. I don't doubt that she has come up with all new ways to manipulate spells and effects.
Do you know of any sort of protection offering that you can offer us that might, guard us from any sort of attack on our magic that could keep us shielded?
You are my army, and you are protected.
Okay. Thank you, I guess. Any other questions for her, guys? Misha, you've been very helpful. Thank you for your blessing and all, and for allowing us to call in your aid. We will serve you well as your army as we take down the source of all this.
All right. Good luck traversing this terrain of my home.
All right.
I mean,
Well.
we should know about getting to Death Mountain. She said the journey was very dangerous. Is there anything we should be prepared for?
Are you sorry? Are you asking her that, or are you just
Probably.
yeah?
Mhm.
There's evidence of my siblings throughout this land, and there are things throughout this land that are not of the fairies, that are other. Be wary of everything, and she looks at each of you. Do not leave the protection of your Kokiri navigator.
Jenna, is she telling the truth about all this stuff?
What are you suspicious about?
Everything.
Why?
We were pressed into service by a great fairy to go attack another great fairy.
I trust her the most.
Give me an insight check, Akila.
Is this just Phasia?
I'll give you Bardic before you make this. Just in
I'll
case
use
you're
it.
onto something.
I'm so
it's a D12.
curious.
29.
I mean, this is who she says to be. It's a bit odd that it seems that she was just fighting and in this battle and then like seemed to turn the corner immediately after sending you guys here. But the way that she kind of mentioned about like splitting her consciousness across like multiple things suggests that no, this was her. Nothing she said really seems to like lead you astray. It's difficult because it's a fairy to like want to trust them because they are so inherently like untrustworthy. But it seems that you guys are aligned truly in what you want to do, even if she's trying to figure out like the best way to have you guys help.
I'm so nervous that Phasia can do something that can just scatter everyone.
Even if this is Phasia and we're nervous about that fact, it's
Oh,
like
I'm
there
not
has to
saying
be
that this is Phasia. I'm just saying that when we go to Phasia, I'm worried that she can
well,
to separate us all.
yes, yeah, that's true from you. Yeah,
I think it's more likely that Phasia can like redirect our magic.
That too.
do you think that we can fight her in the material plane somehow? Like we get her over there?
That'd be easier, right?
It would be easier. We just need a way to get her there.
And I guess this time, I guess we know the big secret there, right?
That Ozzy is Phasia?
Ozzy and Phasia are the same.
Yeah.
She did seem to want us to get into into the sacred realm, which seems like maybe there's an advantage of that for her.
Right. For sure, she has more influence over our magic if we fight her in here. But if we find... Shit. We need to find a way into... if... I think we go to her grotto. If her grotto's in the middle of Death Mountain, I mean... We should attack it from that from that way, right? Or...
Misha. Is Misha still here?
Yeah, you guys can keep talking to her if you have stuff for her.
I think the thing that we don't necessarily know is with Natara being Kokiri, can we exit the sacred realm from anywhere? Or do we need to go back to the gate on the spire?
You still need to go through a gate of some kind, even if it is a fairy fountain, but there are risks of going through a fairy fountain.
Do you know if Phasia's grotto is exposed on the material plane or if it's solely on this realm?
It has to be on the material plane.
Okay.
Her bulb may
Yes.
be closed, but
Yeah.
You said you've lost siblings. What has happened to the domains of the great fairies that have died?
the pattern I've noticed is that when a fairy dies, their domains are divided up somehow. Then newer fairies are sometimes born into the sacred realm. Like I said, I myself am a relatively younger fairy, and haven't been around to witness how many fairies we've lost. But Terra, Ron, Kotera certainly have. I was once close with my sister Washa, great fairy of the skies, its storms, and navigation. She had hair like a night sky and eyes like a rainbow that reflected in her aquamarine jewelry. I bet you don't even know what an aquamarine is, do you? If you're ever west of Satori Mountain, just across Tamio River, is Wash's Bluff. That's where her last stand was just a few thousand years ago. Before my time, there were more, but Ron has our family history down better than I do.
Is there any way to? Well, it might be a dumb question. Is there any way to reconstitute a great fairy that's been defeated?
Not that I've found.
And what would happen if there's no great fairies to divide up domains to?
I suppose more great fairies would come to be. I have prevented many attempts in the past of my siblings' feuds, but never alone. I do need help, and I think that help has arrived, unless I'm mistaken.
So in the end, this is going to be an example, whether we talk her down with words or put her down entirely.
It may have to come to that, but there is a chance it doesn't.
Akila, what are you thinking? You're deep in thought.
I'm thinking I'm tired of standing around and we should get moving, either back towards the gate or towards Death Mountain, depending on which side we want to fight her on.
I do have to ask, Lydian, you had mentioned, why did you think Great Hyrule Forest was where her grotto was?
I just figured it was a place on the material plane that we hadn't gotten to. It's impenetrable on the material plane by a mysterious foggy cloud. I mean, it just makes the most sense. It's the most chaotic and magical place on the other side. The middle of a volcano seems pretty out there, to be honest, but if that's where she is.
She loves unpredictability. But the Lost Woods of Hyrule Forest are not impenetrable from this plane.
We do. Ozzy did tell us that. I think.
Yes. And we have business there.
Why would
Well,
she
also-
have told you that?
Do we tell her about?
About what? I don't even know what you're talking about.
I mean, we know that the prophetess was heading there. Kotera told us that the hero of time is not dead.
Oh, yes.
We
Yeah.
put that together.
I mean, yeah, I think we put that. I think we put that together.
Do we mention that?
Yeah, we can mention that.
I mean, that is, I guess that is our business there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I guess we ultimately assumed that there had to be a grotto there or some sort of gate or portal because if we can access it from this side, we can come back on the material plane to find them there, I guess. Unless they're on this side. But I actually know for a fact that they're on the material plane because I scryed on them and it was just the fog of the material.
No.
We can't scry on Ozzy. We tried, remember?
Yeah.
Does that make a little more sense now?
Yeah.
um, no, just interesting that it seems to me if she's leading you, she would be leading you there. Perhaps her grotto has moved.
The prophetess did just kind of like entirely erupt Death Mountain.
True.
I'm thinking maybe the prophetess
Prophetess
has
is
been the
somehow
prophetess may have
involved.
been tricked into worshipping Phasia instead of Ganon this whole time, or something. Like there's something, you know what I mean? Like it's because it's like
I don't know about that.
He has a connection with Blood Moon, which admittedly is chaotic.
yeah, it's just like if it could be somebody masquerading as Ganon, but I don't know. It's far fetched, but I'm similarly worried at Phasia's stretch of power, like all of you. So, do we go on this plane, or do we head back to the gate and then we fly into Death Mountain?
But we can't fly into Death Mountain because we have to wear our Flamebreaker armor.
You just fall into Death Mountain.
Misha, is there anything you can do to help with that, or no? Some sort of flame protection that's regardless of armor?
I mean, you could go to endure the Isle of Rabak.
Not a good idea.
That is the way to go about it.
You know, about Misha just like knows all of these like random places we've never heard of and just name drops all of them. We're like,
No, I guess we didn't do as much sightseeing as I thought.
you know, I'm just like, a checklist. New side quests unlocked.
I do think it's interesting that Phasia's plant is Goron spice. And she might be in Death Mountain. There's definitely a lot of chaos caused there.
That's for
So
sure.
perhaps she could have moved after that happened.
I mean, we have to go to one of the two, right?
Yeah.
And I guess we have to do it on this side, I think.
For going into the Lost Woods, we almost certainly have to do it on this side.
Let's do that first, or no? Is that not a good idea?
Is there anything that we would want to do to prepare for either of these encounters?
Besides just the usual stuff of, you know, aid and whatnot.
Unless we think that we can somehow find Ozzy on the material plane.
I mean, she certainly comes to us when she wants to. But
What if we
who's to say that we don't, go back to the material plane where we entered and she's not just right there? But I don't think we can bet on that.
Mm-mm.
I think at this point she wants us to come to her.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, she certainly seems to have more control over the situation, so she can afford to wait for us.
Is there anything that Misha can do to confirm where the grotto is now? I guess probably not, since Kotera can't, just find it, so...
No, I don't think so.
Do we go
I can't
tell
try.
Kotera?
No.
No, I think we
Seems
leave
like a
Kotaro
bad
completely out
idea.
of it.
It seems like a bad idea, right? Would Misha have any idea what Kotera might have been thanking Lydian about? It's a stretch, but
Well, so you guys tell her about your conversation you just had with her, where you withheld
Mhm.
the information from the portal. She says, well, her domains are Healing, obviously. Truth and secrets. I have to imagine if you withhold a secret from her,
She still might know.
she might learn the secret.
She was able to tell us where the prophetess was, even though nobody necessarily knew.
Yes. Yeah, then maybe she told us something along the lines of like, the more you try to keep it a secret, the easier it is for her to find it. Something along those lines.
Yeah. It was, she really didn't want to know, so it was easy to tell where she was.
So why might she want to know where the portal is then?
So she can come out like the same way that Phaedra's been doing. Like come into the mortal world. In a similar way. I don't know what she can do there.
She wants to know where Phaedra's grounded.
Yeah.
Anyway. I really hate these great fairies. They're really
I feel like just sitting on like an hour-long brainstorming call instead of just trying to piece together all this.
This is really putting a damper on my new personality.
Yeah, it's really hard to be super cheery, huh?
And this music is just like too perfect right now.
Sacred Realm.
Are we
This is Silent Realm music, technically.
This is the Silent Realm music in Skyward Sword, yeah. Okay.
I think we go to the Lost Woods.
Do you think that she might have any sort of influence there? Like maybe she's helping the prophetess, or if we don't take care of her beforehand, it'll make things worse?
She almost certainly has some sort of influence there.
Yeah.
If she has no influence, we will have fought the prophetess, and then we will have to fight Mija again afterward, Phaedrae afterward, and not have any healing.
Yeah, that's the concern, is that if we don't...
Yeah. That's another question for Mija. Does Kotera's domain of healing, is that particularly in respect to magical healing? Like, we know that, like, our bodies naturally heal themselves over time if you are injured. Does Kotera's domain extend into that, like, natural, like, I just feel better after I've gotten banged up after, a good night's sleep, I'll feel better, shall I say.
What did she say?
What did she say? She didn't specifically tell us.
Well, I'll have to imagine that it might be a bit more difficult to shut down the natural healing ability of every single creature in Hyrule than it is to simply put a block on magical healing.
I guess we can take a long rest and see if
Lydia
Lydian
gets his money back.
Or a short rest.
A short rest.
Or short rest, yeah.
Would it be worth trying to go around to the other great fairies and try to turn them against the true source of the conflict, which is Phaedrae, instead of each other, or no?
I don't
That's
think
gonna
so.
take way too much time.
Yeah, we want to talk to. Let's talk to the fairies again. This time they will listen.
Let's go.
Right.
The only thing I feel like would be worth talking to them is saying, "Hey, we know where you live now, and we can get here." That's the only thing I think would be worth saying to them. And even then, I don't think that's a great idea to make enemies with 7 demigods at the same time.
No.
I'd at least want to do it one at a time.
Also, we're probably supposed to be avoiding... Do you know what happens to Kesa when a blood moon happens?
Yes, that's a great question.
This is so sad, though. You don't need to expose her like that.
Why is your sister so weird when the moon turns red?
I'm not a bottomless source of information like Kotera. If you give me information, I can infer and give you the potential so like the potential reasoning that makes the most sense. But
She.
God.
I was just gonna explain. She seems to be overwhelmed and almost exploited by Ganon during the Nights of the Blood Moon, and have her magic used for, or her domain of the moon used for nefarious purposes. She just said ominously not to mention, or not to talk to her or interact with her on the Nights of the Blood Moon. But I don't know how dangerous that looks like.
I can't say that I have either. I can't say that I know specifically what happens to her. It's unfortunate.
Do you think if we like cast protection against good and evil on her before the moon?
And I feel like this is just a big distraction.
No, this
Yeah.
is definitely
Yeah.
a distraction.
Uh,
Will the blood, if we stay on this plane, will the blood moon still happen?
there's so many rabbit holes we can go down.
I mean, I will say, you guys being on this plane, time is moving differently between here
Right.
and the material plane. It's just innately different. It speeds up and sometimes slows down. So depending on when you catch it, you could be gone for a minute, or you could be gone for 3 years.
Oh,
Awesome, awesome,
That's
awesome.
That is
so
Loving
such
it.
a bad update
cool.
for us to know right now.
So what
We
I'm
have
hearing is
Yeah.
that we should
And
stop standing around and do something. Thank you,
Yeah.
God.
okay,
for
we need to take votes.
telling us.
Do we go to Lost Woods on this plane, Death Mountain on this plane, or Death Mountain on material? I vote for Death Mountain on this plane.
I also vote for that.
Yeah.
I think we go to the Lost Woods.
Mhm. Natara, where you at?
Our guide.
I mean, she certainly wants us to go to the Lost Woods.
You know,
I don't know what that necessarily means, though.
It's true. She trapped us once. She tricked us once already.
Oh, I'm sure she's tricked us many times already.
I mean, if you're our guide and you want to go to the Lost Woods, then maybe we should just go to the Lost Woods.
Want to go there? Or do you think Death Mountain first?
Flip a
Don't-
coin.
Rock, paper,
mean, I
scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors. Like we solve all the things.
I suppose if we go to the Lost Woods on this plane, we won't necessarily have to deal with the prophetess right away.
Yeah,
So
assuming she's on material.
she did have to get to the Lost Woods somehow.
There is a slight concern of if we defeat Kasia that somehow removes a spell from the Lost. More traversable,
That is true.
which lets the prophetess in.
Get somewhere. Yeah.
Didn't we try to spy on her and we couldn't?
We tried to spy on the prophetess and it was just clouded in the fog. So we know for a fact she's on the material plane, but she's not. Yeah.
Why do we think she's alive then?
Because the scry went through. Otherwise it would flicker out in a different way.
We tried on LG.
We tried on LG.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why.
So we
Well-
don't technically actually, assuming that LG is with the prophetess, she is on this
Yes.
plane. She was on this plane at the time of the scry. Or on the material plane at the time of the scry. But
If we go to the Lost Woods, then is that where you're leaning, Natara? Or because otherwise, how do we get into the volcano if it's overflowing with malice? How do we do that even?
Not overflowing with malice. Oh, and
Oh,
unless you.
There's one time.
You just said not lava, and I assume on this plane it's overflowing with malice.
That's not lava.
I assume it's something entirely different.
yeah.
Something
Some other
weird.
third thing.
Yeah.
Let's go check it out. I mean, like the volcano's on our way to the Lost Woods anyway.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, I think we at least check it out.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
it's
probably can't
basically-
take her by surprise, but I don't know that there's necessarily any.
No, I don't even think we try to
Um,
do any sort of trickery. Confront her head on. We're not gonna
Yeah, we
pull
need-
one
we
over
need to
on the
be-
goddess of trickery.
No.
We need to be
Yeah.
as straightforward and boring as possible for the next like 48 hours.
We are going to Death Mountain.
I will be casting only Psychic Lance.
No, what if she reverses it back to you?
You're right. I will be only shooting with my arrow.
Exactly. Thank you.
Only we had 9th level spells and could shove her into a canteen. It would be so easy.
Well, it's the real solution. No new great fairies. They're all just in jars.
Let's depart from. Do we have a direct line of communication with Mija, or is it just only when we call her aid?
If you call for her protection, she'll come.
Okay. Let's depart and let's head off towards Death Mountain.
You guys say farewell to Mija and exit her home made of roots and everything. And you can see as you make your way to the exit, there's like a center courtyard that has the reverse side of a fairy fountain in it. And you make your way out back to the outside world, all technicolor and vibrant and unusual. Gold sky, things flying high in the sky above. And you look west towards where Death Mountain should be.
What?
There's nothing there.
I mean,
Is
we
it
know
a
that it's
Big sinkhole.
Is it a crater now?
You just don't see a mountain.
Let's go over there.
Staying close to Natara, you guys begin to make the journey. You are in like southeast Akala, so it is kind of far, but it's weird because as Natara leads you guys, different stretches of land, they seem to like. It seems like you move like so much faster because something that was way up ahead is suddenly like right near you. But then in some stretches, it feels like you're moving a lot slower. Like, haven't I been walking past like this? Like, haven't I been walking on this bridge like for a while now? I should have reached the other side by now. Um, Everything just kind of seems to like warp and bend and move in ways that your minds have difficulty perceiving. Somebody roll a d20 for me.
Natara?
Tara?
okay.
Cool.
Oh my god.
My god!
Sayonara, guys. It's been fun.
Is it that one?
I swear to God, great fairy fireflies. It's happening. They're being put in jars. I'm gonna put little holes in the top.
Oh, cheer up, Akela.
What does a nat 1 in the Sacred Realm get us?
I think that's just Ganon.
Yeah,
I don't
Ganon
know.
shows up now.
As you guys exit Mija's area of this realm and begin to make your way east, following the paths that you know to lead you to Eldon under normal circumstances. There is a figure on the road ahead with a shimmery cloak that is pulled up over their face and braces the ground as they walk. You have difficulty perceiving at first, but because of just how things kind of shift, but you realize they are a very, very big individual. Very tall.
It's another
And-
great fairy.
At one
Is it
point,
wrong?
they look up to see your party moving on the same path towards them. And removing her hood of her cloak, You see blonde, perfectly curled hair that cascades, and you hear, aha! I kind of picked it up a little bit. Oh, well, if it isn't 11th hour,
This would
I'm
be an at one.
I'm not.
I am so thrilled to see you here on this plane. What do I owe the pleasure? Were you
Oh, it's
coming to
Kotaro.
visit me?
It is good there.
And stepping forward with her opalescent coloration and blonde hair. It is the patron of the roguelock, Gotera.
So Tara, you know we don't have business with you on this plane. We're here to find Phasia.
Right. Of course. How's that going for you so far?
Well, you know it's a challenge. Us mortals on your plane.
Do you need any help with anything? Have any questions?
No
I
question.
don't think we have any questions.
You're
Actually.
all so quiet this time around.
What are you up to?
Yeah.
Don't. Can we just?
On a stroll. Of sorts.
Kotara.
We only
We only heard the
Only heard
first
Kotara.
menacing from
We-
Tara.
We only heard Kotara.
I said, "What do you want, Kotara?"
Oh, okay.
Nothing. I didn't even expect to find you all here.
Yes. Well, maybe you should tell the other great fairies that we can find everyone here now.
Hmm. Is it fun being able to say whatever you want without failing at my grotto again, Akila?
I was always telling you exactly what I thought of you.
Oh, I know. Well, so funny to run into you all here. Great to know exactly where you are. I guess I'll see you soon.
Goodbye. We're headed this way. Come on,
And
guys.
I'm headed the other way. And she walks around you all and continues east towards Kala.
Yeah. Yeah, we know.
That
Should we
one.
stop her?
I don't know that we can do it.
I don't think we can stop her. She's a minor god.
How are we gonna stop the other one that we're on a mission to kill one of them?
Exactly. Like
I don't know how we're supposed to do any of this.
Like,
I don't know, Akila. It's very scared. I'm very nervous.
I think we all need to come to terms here. Like, do you really think we're going to talk the goddess of trickery out of doing a trickster war?
Akila, I know
No.
we can't do that, but I have been practicing for years with you guys, or however long we've been traveling.
Okay, so
Right,
then
but
if we're
we
not gonna
couldn't
talk her
all
out
be
of
bound
it,
together for 3,000 years. Like,
We could have been.
just think about that, guys.
I think we just need to do
Like,
what
if
we're
we're
best
not gonna
at.
talk her out of it, then the solution is we're going to kill her.
I assume.
So is that
Are
the
we
plan then?
letting Sarah walk past us though, or are we gonna be like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
She's not gonna tell us, but we could at least ask, I suppose.
Well, like, what's the point of asking?
Yeah, let's just
It-
keep going.
she's on a mission, and unless we enact violence, we can't stop her.
It's true. But like, why would she want to do that? Like, why would she want to
Fuck
go
with
there?
us because she's a great fairy. Like, it's a nat one. We just got unlucky. That's it.
We have never had a positive interaction with a great fairy.
Hey,
This is
Kaza's
actually
interaction was pretty cool.
This is actually accurate.
She
And I
took
was
away
bored.
all mortal to love.
Yes, but like she was, it was a positive interaction.
We've already decided.
No,
The
it was not
closest
a
we have had to a positive interaction was one of them telling them to kill one of their siblings to commit fratricide.
I mean, yes, but like, yes, we've understood. You've said over and over, the Great Fairies are bad. They suck. Saying it again and again is not going to change anything, Aquila.
No, I'm just saying that like you seem reticent to enact violence on them when our mission is to enact violence on
I want
them.
to go home, Aquila. I want to see my fucking sister again, and I want to be in Rito Village with my moms, and I want my moms to love themselves again. And we need to fucking do something. I don't know if we can kill one of them. I don't know if we can talk one of them down. We need to fucking try, Aquila. That's why we're here.
I understand that. But you don't know those two things, so it sounds like we're on a doomed mission then.
I'd rather
So-
die trying.
So, not to throw a wrench in this entire discussion of killing a great fairy. Can people die on this plane? Can we even kill her if death is turned off? Or are we just gonna be in a battle forever?
No, because she can't heal, so she'll just be eternally dying then.
Lydian's gonna sit down.
Well, do they have souls?
So it's clearly if they can die and not
they
come
can
back.
die.
Yeah.
Does our
I-
party having a mental breakdown have any impact on the landscape of the sacred realm?
We are
good
tier 4 characters, guys. It's time to come to terms that we are a
Yeah.
universal threat right now.
Like if we could take out 5
We are a
divine
party of
beings,
level
I think-
16 characters. Our power level should be able to save the known universe.
Should be.
As you guys kind of like get a grip a little bit and you know, maybe turn to refocus on the lack of where Death Mountain is, you find that you haven't really gone very far at all from where you were. You are, even though you've been walking for probably hours, maybe, you are still right near where Misha's house is. Even though
We
you
need to
swear,
make a decision so we can move forward
Yeah.
physically as well.
you swear you've been moving, and even though sometimes it seems that the land moves slowly around you, and you feel like you've crossed bridges and gone past things, you are back here somehow.
Well, that's unfortunate.
All right.
I think it reflects our stuck mental state.
So perhaps we need to be a bit more positive.
That's
So I
fine.
understand why we have been feeling a bit downtrodden.
That's fine. I'm just saying we have to commit to an idea then. What are we doing
No, I
here?
agree with you. I think personally we should be able to take her.
I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
agree.
it's tough. It's tough without magic, but we have to find a way. I mean,
Yeah, we're not gonna. I don't think we'll be able to talk her down, because that's what she's best at. But I would argue that we are probably close to, if not at her level as a group, if we work together and play smart.
I mean, do we try to figure out her intentions at least, or are we
Yeah,
just
we're
gonna
talking
roll
to her
with
Fine to
it?
first,
talk
yeah.
to- I think it's fine to talk to her.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm cool with that.
I'm gonna put my hand in. We'll put
See,
their hand in.
I might not have done it with anybody else, but seeing Lorhanon's hand go in, I shoot my hand in.
A sixth tiny wooden hand also goes in.
Damn it.
Are you coming along with us?
I just heard all the yelling, and I really wanted to see what was going on.
What's your name, buddy?
Is it the same one as before?
It is not the same one as before.
What's your name, pal?
Moro.
Moro, welcome to 11th hour. Let's get going.
You made the team, buddy.
You made the team just at the nick of time.
At the 11th hour.
Yeah, no, he's the he's the MVP. He's the mascot.
We just collect all of the Koroks.
Speaking of 3,000 years,
With that, you guys set off with your new mentality and your new companion, potentially.
our
And
new best friend.
that is where we will end the session today. Titled Spiraling, which I feel like was a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
Well, I think we, yeah, I think we definitely like we were going along with it for so long, and then after a while, we were just like, we're not aligned at all with where we're at mentally.
I don't know. Nari's just floating around. Nari's just going with the flow right now. This is
I'm tired of these great fairy bullies. It's time to put one of them in their place.
get it over with.
It is a good question, how. I have no idea if magic's going to work the same way or not, and that's our like main firepower. So
Yeah. I feel like we definitely need to talk to Phasia first to understand what her intentions are and what she's done, because even if we do manage to defeat her, then we have to unravel all of the stuff that the other great fairies have been doing. Like, it's not just going to go back to normal.
Yeah. That's a good point.